What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to Streamcast, the show where we watch the latest and greatest stuff on streaming services with you guys. I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with my bro, the inverted gamer himself, Sheps. How's it going, bro?
It's going really good because I'm not done talking about this movie.
Neither am I. I'm glad we're doing this. It was such a success. The first impressions we did over there, everyone loved it. It was a good discussion.
And since then, we've had a lot of people saying, "Can you actually do a thing for it?"
Exactly.
So you asked for it.
Review.
And if you want to make this not happen, patreon.com/conversations. It's the only way to get us to stop.
You just need to throw money at us, and we'll be like, okay, we get it. We'll stop.
Right.
All right. Guys. Today, we are going to be reviewing Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yes.
The Snyder Cut that we have been waiting for.
Yeah.
Since, well, the first time it was legitimate, the first time we saw the legitimate hashtag that released the Snyder Cut was like November, back when Gal Gadot tweeted it out randomly.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my God, this could be real.
Well, because you got one of the main cast doing it, right?
Exactly. Before it was just people saying, like, oh, we just want this, we want that.
Yeah, it was some people saying it, but when you heard Gal Gadot Wonder Woman coming up with Wonder Woman 1984, which is said to be very big, although it didn't turn out so great, and it's Gal Gadot, you know, like, yeah.
That really made it big. And then we saw pictures of the reel sitting on a shelf in like a vault somewhere. It's like Zack Snyder Justice League. Well, it's a real thing.
It exists.
And then we saw Zack Snyder talking about it, and then like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And here we are today, sitting here. Today's the 25th of March, 2021, with the Snyder Cut in our hands.
Yep.
And bloody hell, how great it's been.
Well, you've really enjoyed it. I liked it, but you've really, really vibed with it.
I've enjoyed it many times.
Like what?
Five to be precise. The fifth one was, to be fair, to watch for this review.
Of course, yeah.
So I can take notes, but still 5 times. That's how that's going.
You've really liked it.
I have really liked it. Just so you guys know, the way that we're going to be doing this, just to obviously keep it easy to consume for you guys, and so we don't die by the end of this review.
Yes.
We're going to break this up into 2 parts. This one is part 1. We're going to be reviewing everything from the beginning all the way up to the end of chapter 4. Yeah. We're stopping at chapter 5, and then we're going to continue that in the next part, and then we get to talk all about it in the end and stuff like that. That's how we're going to do it. It seems like a decent place to stop as well.
Yeah, it's a natural stopping point for
before things really ramp up into that end bit
They pick the way they'll win. Mm-hmm. And then we go into that in the next part too.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's how we're going to be doing it there. Thank you all for joining us for this.
If you need to be told, spoilers, obviously.
Yeah. This is going to be a spoiler review.
Yeah. We're going to talk about the movie. So if you haven't seen it, 1, what the frick are you doing? But 2,
with your life.
Like, maybe you should go and find that. It's very good.
Yeah. There's a 7-day free trial on Now TV. Go just go watch it.
And we're looking forward, even more so than the Justice League, to ripping the shit out of Wames, who is completely wrong about this.
I love it. I just love how adamantly he spoke about the movie, how terrible it's going to be, and how terrible it still is. He still talks to this day. Yeah. Yet even though everyone in his community, everyone in the 4 Pillars community have done a complete 180, and they're like, no, this is actually good. This is actually really good.
Since 2018.
We was like, as soon as we heard rumblings of it and we saw little stills and storyboards, we were like,
it's going to be good.
This is great. And there's James, still sticking to his guns, even though he's dead wrong.
Exactly. Now, before we get too far into it, this show is hosted and powered by people that aren't dickheads like James, those incredible people over on patreon.com/conversations that make this the flagship show on the FPN, and the content over on Conversations and Converplations, our channels, and twitch.tv/conversations. We're everywhere now.
We're everywhere. You can't get rid of us. We're like genital warts.
And it was and it was all our idea as well. We were not bandwagoning. We were the bandwagon. We were the first ones to go to Twitch.
We were the horse before the cart.
Exactly.
Everyone else followed us.
Right. And who are those incredible people?
Those incredible people are Diogo Dildo, Isak the Ultimate Cumsock, Kirill Tarivia, aka Catsper the Friendly Patron, Record Friction, Dan the Man, Jeremy Renner, that's right, an official Avenger, Martin Scorsese's Master H. Bart's 12, the Midget Aloy from Smallville Sabine, the former freeloader Christian, Master Chief himself, Albiscori, Super Sus Ben Fryer, who is a clone of Eddie, Star Wars Encyclopedia Adam Sunling, Raj Vanderlyn, he's got a plan, guys, you just need to follow him on one last job, and the filthy FIFA fanatic. I knew that was going to mess me up.
You did it to yourself as well for that one.
I chose the name. I don't know why I did it. The filthy FIFA fanatic, Joe McCormack. Thank you, bro, so much for keeping the lights and mics on and the streaming services going here at Streamcast.
That's right.
Yes.
Let's kick this mother fricker off.
Yes. I did have one or two things I said just before we get started on here. One thing to know. This movie would not have happened if a bunch of things didn't fall into place.
Yes.
One of them being a big thing, Zack Snyder, I don't know if you know about this, didn't take a salary for making this Snyder Cut movie.
Okay.
He apparently said, okay, I'll make the movie. You don't have to pay me anything.
Totally worth it because there's no way he's not getting way more work after this, right?
Exactly. The notoriety is worth itself right there. And also, I wasn't going to, throughout this review, write down all the scenes that were new or extra or different and whatnot. And I got 10 minutes in and I was already like 14 pages long. So I was like, okay, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. But
it's
there's a
bunch of brand new stuff.
Exactly.
Like it really is it is a different movie. They're not the same thing.
Exactly. So yes, let's take it away. The start of Justice League Part 1.
Very first thing,
yes.
As the intro comes in, we get that CG intro of things, and we see another mistake DC made, which was they have 40 movie-worthy characters and made movies for 3 of them.
Yes.
What the frick?
So it starts... I do love the DC intro CG thing. It's
really
cool,
good.
But you see how expansive the DC universe is and how many characters they have. And all we've got is like 6.
We've got umpteen Batman movies.
Yep.
2 Wonder Woman movies, of which only one is any good, and it's not good. It's just not as bad as 1984.
Yeah.
Aquaman, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, and Shazam. We got Shazam movie.
Shazam as well.
And that was it. Oh, and Superman. There's freaking nothing. There's 40 characters. Where's our Flash movie? Where's our Martian Manhunter movie? Where is a Green Lantern movie that doesn't suck? Like, there's so much. There's so much.
How dare you besmirch Ryan Reynolds'
I love
Ryan
Ryan Reynolds.
God damn it. But the CG suit was great.
This is going to rub a lot of people the wrong way. I want Ryan Reynolds to come back as Hal Jordan, as Green Lantern, for a second movie, not another origin story, but just make it not suck. That's the only change I would make. Just make him good.
That's a decent choice right there, to not suck. Good, very brave stance you took there.
I know it's going to rub people the wrong way, but I want a Green Lantern movie that isn't shit.
Yeah, yeah.
So we start
with
Zack Snyder's favorite directorial choice. Slow motion.
Slow motion is always the way to go. I'm actually a fan of the slow motion.
I quite like it for this scene and everything with the Flash, which is kind of important, obviously. Actually, that's a lie. The only thing I really loved for Flash was the scene with Iris West. Everything else I felt like we could have just been... Do
you know, I'm actually okay with all the slow motion. There are some people out there that thought it was too much. I
just hate the way he runs.
It's like he's throwing the Speed Force when he does it. And I'm like, okay, that's not... What are you doing? Just put your arms down. But apparently, was it IGN or something like that?
Yeah.
Sat down and timed how much slow motion there is in it. Apparently, 10% of the movie is slow motion.
Yeah, I feel like that's like 8% too much.
Any other movies like 1%. This was like 10%. Right. Like, ooh, there's a lot there.
But this starting scene with Superman dying, fighting Doomsday.
Yes.
I actually liked it.
It's the final moments between Doomsday. You see like one shot of the spike going through his chest coming out the other side. Then you see the Kryptonian spear. The Kryptonite spear.
Yep.
Then the other side is him pulling out and he's like screaming in pain and his final
pulling
moments.
out's a difficult thing.
It's very painful. It's very painful. I wouldn't do it.
I did hate this though, and I understand its point in the movie, but like the scream with the shockwaves.
It's a strange one, but when you know the reason, it's enough to like go, okay, all right. But it just went on for a bit too much. Like if it was and then we went to the next area and it's like, well cool. But it was like we have to follow the trail through everything as well, and that made it a bit too much. But at least it was a reason, because as it went through the city, it went to where we see Victor Stone and the mother box activates for a moment
in his like closet.
Exactly.
By far the least secure. of the boxes.
And not even wrapped up or anything to hide its true.
Yeah.
It's just like
he hasn't put like his old PlayStation 2 on top of it or anything. No. It's just it's just a box.
Just in the corner right there in the closet.
Just completely naked.
Exactly. And just keep it there. And then it goes through all the other places of importance. So like it goes through Atlantis and whatnot. And it makes
its way to Themyscira, right? That's the last one we see, right?
That's the last place it goes to right there.
Well, it's not the box that cracks, it's the box that the box is in cracks.
Yeah, they'll put it in a case of some sort and whatnot, and it cracks open, there's like a light coming out of it. But at the time, you see all the Amazonians sort of like at the ready, about to like attack anything that comes out of it, perhaps.
Themyscira is the only place taking this box seriously.
Yeah, everyone else is just like, it's fine. Let's go.
Do you know what?
Don't worry about it.
Actually, fair enough, because they all were there.
True.
That's the big difference, because they're all like immortal. So, okay, fair enough, because they know exactly what's going on here.
The Atlanteans, they've changed a few generations. Right. Have even forgotten about the box.
Yeah.
So, but, that's about it. They're there, and she gets about like it's moving and whatnot. Then she gets one of the women get closer. I
actually really enjoy the scene of that, because I think we've seen her before.
Yeah, she's been in other
and we know she's a badass. And she's like, as she's walking up to it, she's like, shaking?
Yeah, it's almost, it's not fear, but it's like you have to be fucking ready for what the hell could come out of this. There's a reason we've been guarding it for centuries. Yeah. And then just as she's about to touch it, a crack forms in it, and she's like, alert the queen. And everything goes on there. The next bit is we get Bruce. We cut away from him. He's on some like icy area.
Yeah, like a, what do they call it?
Like a mountain or something like that.
What do they call those ice things?
Iceberg?
No. They talk about them melting all the time. Glaciers.
Polar ice caps.
There's on something cold. He's somewhere cold, right?
He's somewhere really cold. He's in your freezer, okay, guys?
This is actually important for Bruce as well, because while he is like a billionaire and has been Batman, it's showing like the lengths he's willing to go to speak to these people, and the hardship that he's willing to go through, because it's all Batman's big secret weapon is that, other than his superpower being that he's rich, he's like super determined and will go through all sorts of like discomfort. Like when he gets to here, somebody translating will say that he came over the mountains, but a blizzard's cut everything off for like 6 days. That's impossible.
But he made it.
But also because this is a guy that does a lot of impossible things, but he's not superpowered.
Exactly.
So we're establishing that this guy can do the impossible despite not, it's actually surprisingly important. That's all I'm getting at.
When he's going over the mountain, I don't know if anyone noticed this. It's a theme throughout the whole thing. The music Zack Snyder picks, the composer that he goes with all the time, is so good. The music here with Batman going over, Bruce going over the mountains. Yeah. I was like,
it's so good. It's so good.
Great, perfect.
He makes it to like
score.
What is it, like a Finnish or Russian fishing village somewhere?
Icelandic.
Oh, is it Iceland?
I only know that because Isak then tells me later on when Aquaman starts. I was like, but a guy we don't know.
Somebody,
starts talking about
some nobody character that happens to be played by Jason Momoa.
Exactly, just
which is
weird.
To be. I mean, he must be, short on work at the minute. It's a pandemic, isn't it?
Exactly, that's what it is. When he starts speaking Icelandic, Isak told me, he calls me, goes, does Jason Momoa still do terrible Icelandic accent? And he's Icelandic, so I was like, okay, this must be Iceland or something like that and whatnot.
I feel like Isak needs to get fucked, because Mira's British accent is by far worse.
I was going to say, you didn't call out on that.
By far the worst.
Oh boy. Anyway, we then see the title card once he goes into the village. Part 1, don't count on the Batman. Really,
I'm going to say it. Although the parts made it easy for us to separate this thing.
Yeah. And
because I think it was initially intended to be streaming. But as a solid movie, the part 1s make for very awkward transitions.
Yeah, it doesn't need it.
It does not.
When they said, all right, guys, we're not going to actually put it out in parts, you just be like, okay, edit.
Yeah, just cut where it goes, just the frame it goes black, and then the frame it comes into color. Cut.
Done.
It's in.
Anyway, Bruce Wayne standing there in front of this one man who seems to be like the leader of the village. Yeah. Is I believe there is a stranger who comes here from the sea. He comes on the King's Tide. That was last night. Yeah. And then Jason Momoa is translating that in a bad translation, apparently, according to Isaac.
I love your version of Icelandic. I feel like that is as close to the Atlantean as it was to the.
It's basically the same thing. Icelandic and Atlantean very similar.
Very similar.
Very similar. Little known fact. Anyway, He tries to talk to him, and everyone else is like laughing around him as if like he's a joke and something. Yeah, like
the guy even says like, we're poor, not stupid. Yes. Like, oh, some magic man comes out of the ocean, who brings us fish. Like, they make a joke out of it, which is quite funny. And then they basically demand that he leaves, and he's like, no, and then starts talking to Arthur.
Yeah, he's like, there's a war coming, I need warriors, I need to speak to this person really quickly. I'll give you 25,000 to speak to him now. And then he goes, the man said leave. He's like, I'm not leaving. And he speaks in the language now. So it's clear that he knows what was being said. A badass moment. Yeah. He's just like, he told him to leave, and he's like, and he speaks in Icelandic, like, I'm not leaving.
Yeah, not leaving till we've spoken outside. So he knows who he's here for, because obviously he's seen the video of Arthur under the water, right, in the shipwreck.
And he says that there.
Right, and he's just sort of playing along. Yeah. And then Arthur like holds him up against the thing, and he just pulls out 25k, and he says 5 minutes or whatever it is. Yeah,
exactly.
I love that flex of like, you might be as strong as Superman or close, but here's 25k.
Exactly, that's my superpower. So here you go.
Yeah, that's like my superpower.
Arthur Curry, protector of the sea, the Aquaman. And then it cuts to them basically like
outside.
They've got their conversation done. They're like,
so you like, do it dressed as a bat.
It's like, let me get that straight.
You're crazy, Bruce Wayne.
And I was like, that's a cool transition.
Right, I actually really liked that as well. It was good, and it felt much more like we don't need to see Bruce saying the stuff. The important thing is his answer, and then what would he do? Give Bruce shit for dressing like a bat.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. It's very in character with Jason Momoa's version of Aquaman. And right, it's very cool.
Absolutely.
Bruce tries to convince him, like Arthur. It's like, look, being a lone wolf isn't the way to go. We need to stick together. There's something coming. We need to be together. I fought beside Superman, and then he's like, look what happened to Superman. It's like,
right,
shit, you could
like ouch, low blow, but fair enough, but low blow.
I get your point right there. Anyway, he then goes into the water. He takes off his top and whatnot. Obviously, you need to see that.
Okay,
you need to see the chest.
Big question though. Arthur Curry's clothing budget, because he seems to undress every single time he goes into the water, but not every single time he comes out of it.
Yeah.
Like, if the guy needs to be as rich as Bruce. You know?
Genuinely. I'll tell you, when he there's one scene later on where he comes out of the sea after saving someone, and then he has his shirt on, but then when he's gonna go back into the water, he takes his shirt off. I was like, why did you need to take it off now, but you didn't need to before?
And he keeps the trousers.
Oh yeah,
but not the shirt.
The trousers don't cause drag, but the shirt, this little bit of shirt, it causes too much drag for me.
Right.
Anyway, he takes off his shirt, he goes into the water, looks beautiful and stuff like that.
He does look beautiful.
He does say like, dressed as a bat. You're out of your mind, Bruce. And then so this is the bit they cut out. One bit that was famously cut out. In the Joss Whedon version, he does this pathetic dive backwards.
Yeah.
And then boom, zooms off. In this version, it's just he looks over to the side because the women start singing a weird Icelandic song, and then looks back gone. And he's gone. It's like much better,
so much better. There's
the
also,
weird song though.
There's also, you know, when he saves that guy on the pier,
yes.
When he leaves, he dives at the end of that in the Joss Whedon one, doesn't he? In this one, I'm pretty sure he did. I could be wrong, but at least in this one, on the way I prefer it, there's a big wave and he isn't there anymore.
Yes,
that's the way I prefer it. I remember the transition was you see him dive and then it cuts to him under the water. Boof.
It's totally possible.
I think that's how it went. It
totally
just
possible.
Doesn't need to be there.
I'm trying to wipe the Joss Whedon version from my mind.
Completely agree.
After I burnt it in that fire, which I did do by the way.
You did do that,
It was great. Made a great gift from it. It was really good. After I'm trying to get out of my mind.
The women start singing, or the people at the village start singing. So I don't like the scene. I think it's weird.
It is strange.
But I think the important thing is to show that these people are mythical. Yeah. Right, that a lot of this mythical stuff is grounded in reality. And what would an old school like Icelandic village that's cut off from the world in the middle of the dead of winter where nothing can get in or out think of a character that can breathe water, is super strong, and comes and brings them fish at a specifically appointed time in the day or in the season.
Very good point, this one. Very good.
Like Wonder Woman is literally descended from the gods. Greek gods. Yeah. The Amazonians are, they dealt with the gods.
Yeah.
And I think it's actually kind of important that there's a mythical element, despite the fact that Aquaman isn't magic.
Yeah.
Because there is magic.
And there's a person who can speak. He's a person they can speak to, but it's like the most realistic version of like a deity, sort of like God and whatnot.
Well, absolutely. Also, because look, Superman is not a god, and I think we could probably argue that the old gods aren't gods; they're just very powerful beings that occurred here.
Yeah.
So like, what is a god is this whole different question. But like, Superman functionally is a god.
Yeah.
Aquaman, at his strength and especially underwater, functionally a god. Yeah. That's freaking Poseidon, bro.
I was just gonna say Poseidon.
That is freaking Poseidon. And if you beef him out underwater at the end of Aquaman, you're gonna lose. Even I would say at the end of Aquaman, if Superman beefs him underwater, he'll lose like he does in the comic.
Yeah.
Underwater.
Yeah.
That's his realm, right?
It's the way it should, really. It's his area.
It's his realm.
Yeah.
So he's functionally a god, isn't it? They get visited by Poseidon.
Exactly.
Or is it Neptune? Whichever one.
She does do a weird thing, though. Picks up his cardigan and
sniffs it. Now, individually, I get both bits.
Yeah.
It's Jason Momoa sweater. Like, why not?
I would sniff it. But we're talking about a movie, and it's the guy's left. You guys think he's sort of like a godlike creature or something like that? No.
Also, how much does it smell like fish, do we think?
Yeah.
Because that's what he's bringing them.
Exactly. Strange one right there.
Also, it's a good thing he's not like the deep, because that could, she like picks it up in the long strings of slime.
Oh no. Anyway, yes.
The next scene, Lois buys coffee, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it is.
Oh no, there's a bit in between, just a little bit in between. It's Martha. She's at the Smallville Cemetery.
Oh yeah.
She
over Dusty. That was not needed, but
it's not a really thing. You don't need to know this. She's at Smallville Cemetery where Clark and Jonathan are laying, and she has all her possessions in a U-Haul truck.
Yeah,
and you just drive by the farm, and it's got a for sale sign up there. She's moved out of the Kent farm.
Yeah.
It's quite a big thing right there.
It's actually freaking huge.
Exactly. Yeah. And then we have one small scene in between where Master Wayne's going back to he's helicoptered back to where the jet is.
I forgot about this.
Alfred.
Yeah. Next time, let's search some metahumans in Fiji, Master.
Or maybe Jamaica or something warm,
Can't we do the next King Tide? Like, it's freaking brilliant.
I love Alfred. He's the best in everything.
He really is. And the Michael Caine version and this one are both equally as good.
Top notch.
It's really good. Actually, I love Alfred in this. Like, his deal with Diana and the tea is freaking hilarious.
Amazing.
I don't know. It's not meant to be hilarious.
No.
But it made me laugh.
He's like
it made me laugh.
Fidgeting because he's like, this is what I do.
Also, she's a 5,000-year-old princess. And he's like, let me do it. No, I can do it myself. No. Let me do it. No, well, okay, fine, you're going to do it. But like, also, she's super strong. She's literally a god.
Exactly. Can't force her out of the way.
Well, like, okay, add the water first. We don't scald the tea. I freaking love that. It made me laugh both times.
It was great. And the thing is that's such a scene that you didn't have to have in the movie.
No, not at all.
But it was great.
And also, it's the most British or English thing that he does, right? Like everything else, he's a manservant who has some inexplicable ability to like make bat caves and electronics.
Yeah.
Who has an English accent. But here, you're like, okay, that man's English.
Yeah.
There's no way.
No
Even
mistaking.
if you didn't know.
No mistaking,
Jeremy Irons,
right here.
Like you,
He's almost offended by how she's making the tea.
And like he's like, no, well, let's put the water in first. We don't scald.
I wouldn't if I was you.
And then just leave it to mash.
Anyway, now we are at Lois. She's at a coffee house. Very sad sort of music. Again, I liked it in the background of this.
Well, if you listen to the lyrics, the song is things like, they said, the gods would outlive us, but they lied. And what is it? Superman, functionally a god, who is dead. So like the lyrics make sense. The song is appropriately sad, even especially because this is her grieving scene, right? She goes, this is so much better than the Justice League as well. In the Justice League, she just sort of turns up and then goes.
Yeah.
In this, she goes, we see her get the coffee. She gets two.
Yeah.
She goes, because I thought that was some weird grieving thing, but she goes, and because it's guarded, she gives the cop a coffee, and the cop says, never miss a day, do you, Miss Lane? She's like, no, I just like it here, right?
Yeah. Like explain that she's obsessed. She has to come here every day.
Right, it's the only place because she can't go all the way back to the Kent farm. It's in freaking Kansas.
Yeah,
but this is the next closest thing to getting to visit Clark's grave.
Yeah,
and it's the cop that builds the thing. In the Justice League, she just sort of turns up.
Yeah.
In this, the cop says, "You never miss a day, do you, Miss Lane?" Right? Like that is, we're immediately shown that she has been coming here constantly since Clark died. It's so big. It builds. I prefer Lois in this so much to anything else because Lois actually has a character and she's Lois Lane. We know this Lois.
Yeah,
we know this Lois, and I didn't rate Amy Adams as Lois Lane before. As this, she's perfectly Lois Lane. It's absolutely perfect.
I remember that was the thing you said, and I didn't have anything to say. I was like, yeah, she doesn't do anything that's Lois.
Right.
And in this, she's
not bad,
much more Lois Lane
right
now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, then we cut to the UK right here in our back garden. The weirdest thing about this is that there's empty streets, which in the UK...
Yeah, no freaking way.
And the roads look beautiful. Definitely not UK.
Yeah, this is bullshit.
There was no potholes. That's not how it is.
Those roads look better after the building explodes than they do right now.
Exactly.
Facts. Tell me I'm wrong.
Exactly.
Tell me I'm wrong. There is a cool scene. We start off with there's some vans driving past a big flag on London Bridge.
Yes.
With the
Superman.
It's also black. The black S.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing.
Guys.
No one gets the head to. I keep forgetting that.
Everyone's gonna be like, "What the fuck are they doing with their heads?"
And then
I want that to be the top comment.
I can't remember the exact order of it, but the guys get out. They start shooting people. Get into the
building. They hold a bunch of people hostages. They get there's like a school trip. This is the thing. We had a little debate on what this place is. You said it's a museum.
I thought it was.
And I get that because there's kids there.
Yeah.
But then I swear to God, we're going to go back. Then we're going to have a look at it. And there are guys there with those like lawyer wig things and whatnot. So I'm like, so is this a museum or is it
it could be both. It could be the museum of the house of whatever the frick that is.
Or what if it was the court called upon the entire school 7A of this school and whatnot, and then it's like they all had to come in on a school trip.
Turns out the school kids are the villains.
Oh my God, we knew it.
So they're attacked and all taken into one room, right? And then in the meantime,
by these well-dressed guys in very nice suits. They've got good tech, good weapons. Very stylish guys. They look like they've got their shit together.
We see Diana as Wonder Woman, dressed as Wonder Woman, on Lady Justice.
Yes.
And importantly, she's standing next to the sword because Justice should be swift and it's kind of metaphorical. Metaphorically. And she makes her way in. I actually really dislike most of this.
Just before we get to that, we have to explain what they say.
We're going to get there.
Oh, sorry.
So she makes her way in and we see the lasso of Hestia grab this dude and boing, like flips him up, and she says, and she names the lasso. She's like, "Speak, the lasso of Hestia compels you to say." She doesn't need to say it; just say "speak." It goes gold. But I get it if people don't know what it does. And then the guy says, "We're reactionary terrorists."
A small group of reactionary terrorists who want to set back the clock 1,000 years in Europe.
Now, I do like her response. Boring, what are you doing? Like, that I liked. That I really liked. And then it goes trash again, where he's like, "We've taken the hostage, blah, blah." By the time they realize what's up, 4 city blocks. As if anyone speaks like that, first of all, anywhere, let alone in the UK.
In the UK. And also... destroying 4 city blocks. How does that set back Europe's clock 1,000 years?
Destroying 4 city blocks, including your small group of reactionary terrorists that want to, because they're all there.
Exactly. If it was like you set the bomb off and you left, no problem. Then you've got another bomb you can set off.
They're well put together. The bomb's well made. They're all kitted up. They're all highly dressed. They seem to know what the police response is.
I was going to say, I don't know if you've seen on the news what a suicide bomber looks like. They're usually really run down. They're really mentally ill and stuff like that.
Being
These
blackmailed
guys are like,
or whatever.
I just went to a tailor yesterday. I got this fresh new suit.
They're all in tailored suits and like even their gloves.
I speak well.
If you've ever paid attention to gloves, unless you get them tailored, they do not fit right. No. Every single glove you see in one of these movies is tailored to the guy going to wear it.
This guy was great.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, these guys look really well put together, like they don't just want to end their life right now.
Right.
But somehow that's what they're doing today.
Yeah.
Don't understand that bit. But
she bursts through the doors.
Slow motion again, because there is a lot of slow motion.
There is a lot of slow motion. I do get it in some places. Like they move super fast. Wonder Woman, Superman, the best slow-mo, by the way, is actually Superman and the Flash, that look. That's nightmare fuel. That's so terrifying.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that scene. That's so good.
It's just...
And then his look of realization, like, what the frick?
Oh, shit.
That's great.
Because he's never seen anything that fast in his time, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm super speed. Look, nothing could touch me.
He's faster, but he isn't unbreakable. And Superman is almost as fast and unbreakable.
Yes.
So, all he has to do is not... wait till you mess up. Wait till you trip.
Yeah. But then she bursts through the door.
Yeah.
And immediately she like scans the area, sees all the people, sees the bomb ticking down, like 10 seconds left on the thing.
It's a bit close.
And immediately guitar wail.
Now I like the riff. I didn't the first time we saw it, bro.
I didn't at the beginning as well. I was like, this sounds really weird. But now when I hear it, I
really like it.
Oh yeah, baby.
It's very iconic for her, like, instantly this is Wonder Woman. So she starts doing, blocking the bullets on her things. I don't mind that. I really
knocking
like
people against the wall.
I really like the way she moves when she does like the leaps into the low kicks and stuff. I like that. I freaking hate the end where like she throws the bomb out of the roof.
She gets rid of it through the roof.
Right.
She comes back down. The guy's about to murk everybody with the machine gun.
And so she blocks one thing and he flips it to fully auto and then like empties the mag and she like catches all the bullets. I hate the way that looks.
That's so weird because I absolutely love that.
I hate it.
Oh boy.
I hate it.
I mean, you're wrong, but that's okay. You can have your opinion.
That's fine, yeah. I also, it doesn't make all that much sense to me because why follow all the bullets when you can just close in on the gun and murk the guy? But I get it. I get it's for the visuals, right? To prove how good she is at it, that she never misses one of the 30 bullets and all that. I just hate the way it looks. It just looks so bizarre.
I really liked it. The thing is, super speed is hard to do well, right?
I totally agree.
And in Man of Steel, I really liked the super speed they did there because I was like, oh, how are they going to do super speed? And the way they did it looked really cool and realistic. And for 2013, that's not so bad and whatnot. This was very similar to that, but it wasn't exactly the same, so it wasn't perfect. But I still liked it. I don't know. I like the fact that she was using her gauntlets.
I love that.
I
love that.
Maybe it's to try and not make her overpowered or something like that. So it's like, well, if she was to just immediately knock the guy out, then all right, it ends the whole fight, and then it's
This movie does still suffer from the fact that the power levels are drastically out of whack. So like, it's nowhere near as bad as the Justice League. But I think I think anyone that saw it will remember that Steppenwolf, the simp cuck, watery-eyed retard, Steppenwolf,
hard R.
Just like walks through Wonder Woman, Flash, Cyborg, Batman, and Aquaman.
Yep.
And they barely even knock the guy off balance until Superman arrives, and then he just KOs him.
Yeah, that was the worst thing that I hate about this because these are the Justice League.
In the prior movie, Superman is literally away from being killed by Batman.
Exactly.
Right? He's that far away from dying, and this guy, I mean, in fairness, it's the wrong kind of fight. I get it, but like, he does nothing. Wonder Woman, who killed Ares, the guy that nearly killed Darkseid.
Yeah.
Who
in this movie.
Now, she would lose to Superman, but she can go toe-to-toe with him for a while.
Exactly.
Nothing. Aquaman, he's not at full power, it's not the end, but he's Aquaman.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Cyborg, nothing. Powered by the things that are going to power this whole deal.
Yeah.
Nothing.
He just seems to swat them like flies, and that's one of my biggest beef for the biggest beef for that movie. And what I love about this movie is that each character feel like they can hold their own, they are important, and they mean something.
Absolutely,
in all of this. That's what it is.
I would say they're still not quite where they need to be, but they had to work off a skeleton that was not appropriate,
I guess. And also, some of them is their first time out. So it's like
we should consider Aquaman. This is his first time. Exactly. Cyborg is his first time. Flash. Barry. Yeah. It's only really Wonder Woman and Batman that have any experience. Batman is not suited to this kind of fight, at least not with this kind of planning, not knowing the weakness and stuff. And so, okay, fine. But, you would think, I mean, Clark fought Zod, didn't he? So, fair enough.
Well, that's why he's, And also he's had the training, because at the Genesis Chamber, his Fortress of Solitude, he learns about his powers through the AI that's in there.
That's true. Yeah.
That's also how he learns everything, because otherwise how would he know any of his powers if he was the last son of Krypton?
Yes.
Anyway, he goes and attacks all of them. She blocks all the bullets.
Yep.
And at the last minute, she's like, I don't believe it. Believe it.
Bit of overkill.
Sure, yeah, it's a little bit overkill, but there's even a bit more of overkill in a second. Smacks the gauntlets together, disintegrates him, I imagine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%.
And destroys blows out the windows and the walls, and all that debris falls on all the police officers.
No one's fine. Everybody's fine. No one hurt.
Exactly. No one. Heroes don't hurt people. Okay.
This is true. Luckily, even with all that debris, the roads are still clear.
Still clear.
Clearer than they will be when I drive home.
Exactly. And then she turns around. It's like, okay, everyone, it's safe.
I was going to skip past this because I hate it.
I love the intent. It was done too forcefully, though.
They do another thing with her when she speaks to Steppenwolf.
Yes, and I agree with that as well. So in this bit, it's like everyone get up, everyone's cool like that. One girl stays on the ground. It's like, are you okay, princess?
Up to here, I love it.
Princess was cool.
I love that because she's literally Princess Diana, the daughter of a god.
It was good.
Speaking to a regular girl.
And I was like, that's such a touching way. It's a little
That's
girl.
so
It's
sweet.
so nice. And it's like, can I be like you someday? It's like, you can be anything you want. It's like,
No.
let's not go.
No,
down there.
they can't. They can't. And it's a bit.
But,
it's
also,
a bit of a
what would you
heavy-handed
say?
message.
What would you say? To be fair, it's not what would you say. Why did you put it in the movie?
Okay, true.
That's the question.
Also, I would have answered the question with Gal Gadot smiling and stroking her face.
Also, yeah.
Better.
Could
No response. Just a sweet smile because Gal Gadot is, she looks like that. Isn't that as inspirational? Saying you can be anything you want to be. It's of course that's what she's saying, but she's also saying I'm literally the daughter of Zeus. No, bitch.
No, I'm sorry, you're not going to get this. Why would it would have just not been the question? It would have been she's on the ground. It was like, come here, princess. Everything's going to be okay. Done.
Right.
Sorted. Everything's great then.
Yeah, I totally agree. So it's. I don't know why that message is here. Because the message of it's like the female empowerment thing, but it's Wonder Woman.
I was gonna say Wonder Woman at no point in any of this movie was you like, Wonder Woman, she's a weak character.
No.
It really sends a bad signal for women everywhere.
And
she's phenomenal.
She's incredible, and in everything, like when she's being Diana, she's incredible.
Yeah.
Right? She's like at the top of her field, working on some of the most incredible pieces of art in the world.
Yeah.
Right? When she's Diana coming to see Bruce, she's gone through the most high-tech security in the world to speak to this guy.
Almost took me a minute.
Right? And does nothing but add to the conversation, add to the strategy, add to the team feel.
Yeah.
And then she's Wonder Woman and goes toe-to-toe with Steppenwolf, goes toe-to-toe with everything that needs to happen is there.
It wasn't enough. We had to add this one thing.
Right, and that quip with Steppenwolf, it's like you don't need to add the message. She is the message.
Yeah. And that means more. That means more.
It
the
does.
symbol is what it means.
It really, that's the kind. Yeah, that's kind of the S. She just slap an S on her head.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, next we cut to Themyscira. With the queen, she's come to see the mother box now, and it's like the mother box is awoken, but nothing happens. Why did it wake at all? I love her accent. By the way. I really like it.
I don't. But
really?
Yeah, it's because they have the accent because of the Wonder Woman movie, where they're trying to make sense of Gal Gadot's accent.
I see. I enjoy it still. I don't know, but
it's not bad. It's not bad, but they are all slightly different, and also all the other Amazons have different accents, so it doesn't really matter.
There's a British accent. There's an American accent. In it. I was like, it goes. And
why has it gone back to sleep? And this says
it stops.
Evil never sleeps.
Yes,
it
maybe
only
we'll
waits.
go back to sleep.
That's freaking badass.
And then at that moment, teleporter thing opens up.
Yeah,
parademons start flying out everywhere. Oh my god, what the fuck is going on? And then boom, smack to the ground.
Oh, it gives me chills. He looks so good.
This almost like his armor just like reacts and turns into like battle mode with like the spikes coming out of it. Dun, 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 dun. And he comes out and he says, "Defenders, they have failed 100,000 worlds. They always fail. I've come to enlighten you to the great darkness."
Awkward wording.
I will bathe in your fears.
This next thing is straight out of 300.
Yes.
I freaking love it. I love it. This was so good.
Goosebumps.
It's so good, and this is why you don't need these weird moments with Diana.
Let me say the big moment.
Do it. I will bathe in your fear.
Daughters of Themyscira, show them your fear. We have no fear.
It's so sick.
So good.
It's so sick.
And then they just start attacking relentlessly.
It's so sick.
Oh god, I had goosebumps just thinking about it right now.
It's so sick. It's so well done as well. It makes sense. And the Amazons, whatever you're supposed to call it, like they actually slow him down.
Right? Like they're not all superpowered. They don't have superpowers, right? They're just really strong.
I would look they're super in the sense they're all immortal, won't die of old age, and all they do is train.
Yes.
So in that sense, like imagine you're like a CrossFit chick, even like a girl.
Yeah.
But you've trained for 5,000 years.
Yeah,
you're
gonna
at
be
the
good.
ultimate peak.
Yeah.
And with skill and all that stuff. So they're kind of super.
Yeah, but they don't. They know they can't like one hit him or anything like that.
Oh, yeah,
so
they're
they
not
use
Superman.
Sheer overwhelming numbers.
Yeah.
They all just like pile on him at some points. They take out the parademons like with their bows and stuff, like using skill and actual combat.
Yeah, because they have 5,000 years of practice with bows. Of course, they're going to hit every shot.
And like you said, they slow him down. There's a moment he's going to reach out for the mother box, and they're like, "Ah!"
Right, and then the queen grabs the box, does this cool backflip, shanks parademon and runs. Oh no, she speaks to one of the Amazons who says like, honor us, it's right, leave, seal the temple, something, and she runs and seal the temples, and you got these chicks who I think actually are CrossFit athletes who are
I was going to say, I think they're more like power lifters. They looked really wedge.
They're tongue.
They're
incredible.
Pick up their huge hammers.
These enormous hammers, and then they start boom, like whack the supports, and every time they do, boom, the wall seals behind her. Exactly. And there's like 5 of them.
Exactly.
And the last ones, like she gets stopped by a parademon for a second. Last guys, they whack the supports and hold the wall just long enough for her to slide under, and then boom, it crunches. And you're like, okay, it's done. Some rocks fall down the outside of the
The whole thing just the rocks start to fall down. The whole thing just drops into the ocean.
And you're like, they're like, seal the temple. You're like, okay, I don't know that this is like taken that seriously. Oh wait, you're dumping half the island into the ocean.
Interesting.
Okay, Themyscira, I see how you do things. I respect it. Like, goddamn.
Do you know what's really? Maybe you didn't feel this way. Maybe I didn't just by myself. But you know when she's about to run out, one of the Amazonian chicks that's running behind her gets hit by one of the parademons.
Yeah.
And even though she's about to be locked in this thing in a moment that we don't know yet.
She's a real queen. Yeah.
And then is about to be thrown into the ocean.
Yeah.
She still goes back to save her.
Of course.
So I'm not going to let you be killed by this person.
They're heroes. They're heroes.
Exactly.
They're the warriors for planet Earth. These are the people that raised Diana.
Exactly.
Like, of course she's a hero. Look what she's grown up around.
Exactly. Stabs the parademon, saves her life, and then goes about and does the sacrifice that she needs to do as a queen.
Very important. The whole ceiling of this thing. Yeah. Forget the guards inside. Just the women that are manning the struts, the support beams. They don't make more Amazonians. They're not coming. So the fact that they viewed this thing as important enough to, at a minimum, cost 8 to 10 Amazonian lives.
Just in that part there.
Just to seal it, assuming there's no guards in there. Should speak volumes.
Yes.
But it was not that. It was those 10 plus all the women inside, the Amazon warriors inside.
A platoon inside.
Right. That's how important this is to them.
Yeah.
Like, they're not making any more of these things. And she's known these women for like 5,000 plus years.
Everyone becomes family, right?
Everybody.
Yeah.
And they were all made by the gods.
Yeah.
Right. These are as special as lives come.
Yeah.
And as important as they come, and their goal is to protect the world in case of another invasion, right? And they're willing to spend these lives to keep the box safe by this one method.
Yeah.
And I think that's also one of the reasons that she looks over the edge. Because it's the cost.
Exactly. She mourns them for a second.
Think about what she did to save one life. And there's probably 30 women on the inside, plus 40 people, 40 Amazonian lives
that she had to sacrifice in order to destroy this threat to protect the mother box, because they know how important the mother box is and how dangerous it can be in the wrong hands. So she looks over the edge. She's like, "Oh, right there."
By the way, she also did hand off the
she handed off to someone else, like get it to safety and stuff like that. I'm looking into my notes to where I am and whatnot.
Well, then it's just out of the water. The parademon Steppenwolf with this insane leap.
I don't know how he managed to fucking leap that far, but he leaped out of the water into the air over where the queen was, straight into and drops down the fucking axe on everybody.
The baddest freaking thing. He axes one Amazonian on a horse, grabs another under the horse's chest and just throws it.
Madness.
It's sick.
It's this is the thing. In other movies, they might treat women a little bit differently. No,
these aren't women though.
No. In other movies, I'm saying they would treat women a little bit less harshly, because, and in my opinion, that's not fair on them. It's like saying that they can't handle and whatnot. In this movie, they are Amazonians. They are real badass women.
These are the finest warriors on the earth.
You need to treat them with respect. If you don't do that, what he's doing, then
these are the finest and strongest warriors the earth has.
Yes,
who are taking their utmost attention and focus on stopping and ideally killing this mother fricker, so this thing never falls into the hands of Darkseid. He has no option, and he should not have any option. And in the Justice League, he just sort of walks through them. They do nothing. In this, there's a scene coming up here where they lasso him and they try and pull one leg and pull his arms.
Yeah,
and it freaking works. Now he's a lot stronger than them.
Take him down. Yeah,
but it doesn't matter how strong you are if you're off balance, and that's how they choose to go about it.
Exactly.
It's freaking perfect. It makes so much sense.
It fits to them as well, and they're training all this time.
Yeah, it's so good. And I mean, it progresses, right? They do some sick stuff where like tie a rope around the box and then shoot it.
Yeah,
freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And
there's one shot where they've shot a bunch of arrows into Steppenwolf.
Oh my god, this is so sick.
And then when he's like taking a second, he's reacquired the mother boxes over in the distance. He just does this flex.
Yeah,
cuts off all of the arrows.
Flexes. It's like he's flexing, and then the armor flexes into like fight mode.
Yeah,
and it just crunches the arrows off. Oh, it's so sick.
So good.
It's so cool. Good. Again, this Steppenwolf, so much more imposing, right?
Yeah.
He's bigger. His face is good, right? He looks like an alien, not just a sad guy wearing a horned helmet, right? It's so much better.
And he doesn't say mother, mother, mother every 5 seconds.
All the time. The other thing that I love is he gets over to the Queen, who ends up with the mother box again.
Yes, he grabs the mother
box. And, I mean, he's Steppenwolf. He's been there for the 100,000 worlds that they burned down.
Yeah.
And over the hill, the rest of Themyscira charges.
The whole of the Legion is on its way, and it's like, ah!
Yeah, they start charging him, loosing all the arrows, and this guy doesn't stick around to fight all of Themyscira.
No.
Are you freaking kidding?
He would get overrun quite quickly.
Right. Now, look, maybe over the course of like a month, he'd end up getting them all.
Yeah. Slowly, I'll knock you guys out. Go.
All of Themyscira isn't getting Superman.
Yeah.
Right? But they're going to slam the frick down.
Exactly.
You know? And
what does he do?
He goes.
He
cuts. He got what he wanted, and these are not people to frick with.
Exactly.
Even at the power difference.
Yeah.
You just don't mess with Themyscira. They're the Amazons.
Exactly.
And I really, really appreciate the way they're done.
I appreciated it. It showed that they are a formidable force.
Yeah.
They are worth being here. They're worth having a story told about them.
Absolutely.
I really enjoyed it, and it did them justice.
And it makes them turning up. It makes them turning up in the flashback relevant.
Yes. Because
in the first one, they do nothing. They're just girls in skirts.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, the Amazonians, they're a thing. Okay, we guess we have to get a couple hundred women to do some green screen work for us.
Right.
And we're like, we don't know anything about these people. We don't know anything.
Right. In this, these are the finest warriors you've ever seen.
We have no fear.
Yeah, these are the Spartans from 300.
Yeah.
Except they've been practicing for 5,000 years.
Yeah. Serious shit.
Yeah, they're cool.
Anyway, part 2, the Age of Heroes. Steppenwolf appears in Russia after he after he teleports away.
Yeah, in DC Chernobyl.
DC Chernobyl, exactly. They don't say Chernobyl, but it's a place that's had a nuclear fallout.
Yeah.
And there's a nuclear facility chimney.
Yeah.
And it's like, and he walks around. He says the area is toxic, and I was like, is this the WB headquarters?
Oh, hey! It could be UB.
It could be UB as well.
Yeah.
Ubisoft headquarters right there.
And he says this place is toxic. Good. That's good.
Exactly.
And I didn't understand that to begin with, but at the end they say he's using the melted down core to power what the boxes are using to create what they're creating.
He like absorbs the radiation to like power everything. Yeah. And I didn't know that as well until it got to the end. But that also helps because then Batman and everybody just decide we're going to walk into this area. Luckily, all the radiation's been taken away because of Steppenwolf.
Personally, I would like to see, say, like a family that just didn't move out of the area. And then as stuff expands or explodes, maybe the Flash could like save them by, I don't know, maybe they get into like, say, a pickup truck and leave. And then he runs past them and realizes they're not going to make it and then circles back and then pushes the pickup fast enough, you know? How did that get past?
And at the end,
the brainstorming.
I'd also like Superman to lift up a building and fly away with the building as well.
Yeah.
I would like that.
Sort of like just straight out of Aladdin.
Exactly.
What?
So
what?
Dumb. Anyway, Steppenwolf finds the boxes and he's trying to gain forgiveness from someone. He puts it in this like metal slate thing. Who is he trying to get forgiveness from?
He says he will be pleased. He will finally see my worth, or he will see my worth.
Yes.
And look, the first Steppenwolf just turns up.
Yeah.
This Steppenwolf has an arc. He has a character arc as a character, then a villain arc as the villain of the movie. And then a position within the organization of the thing he's a part of.
Yeah.
And an arc within that.
Exactly.
What some might say is he's an actual fucking character.
Some might say, but Joss Whedon doesn't for sure. Joss Whedon doesn't, for sure.
But it's actually goes a really long way to making the whole thing make sense.
It seeds a bit of interest as well in the goddamn character.
Yeah, he has motivations. He's not just here to end the world because I'm evil.
Yeah.
He's here because he has a mission and things to achieve and a reason for achieving them.
Something we have to say as well, something we skipped over in the beginning because it was just a random scene in the beginning. It was some bad CG, but when Lex Luthor's in the water inside the Superman ship?
Yes.
And you see the weird, the being standing with the 3 mother boxes?
Yeah.
It's Steppenwolf's outline, the Steppenwolf we know here.
Yeah.
And that was the same design that was in Batman vs Superman.
Yes, it was.
It makes no sense that Joss Whedon changed the freaking design of Steppenwolf when it was already established.
Yep.
So
I not just changed it, made it significantly worse. Someone hands you a Ferrari and you end up with like something that's not a horse and a cart.
Exactly. That's the difference right there. Anyway, we cut to Star Labs with Dr. Stone leaving the lab really late at night. It's like, 11 o'clock is really early for you, as the janitor says. Doesn't do the awkward scene in Justice League where he asks about his dead son. That's not something you ask a brer, bro.
Yeah, come on.
Come on.
Hey, how's your grief?
Yeah, how's that going?
How's the bottomless grief of knowing your legacy?
Is your heart still breaking?
Are you...
Anyway,
do you want a slap, bruv?
They cut that. See you later, Siler. He goes out.
Silas,
that's it. Sorry,
Silas from Heroes.
Yeah, that is, isn't it? That's that guy. He's plays Spock in.
Yeah.
Anyway, the janitor noticed some flashing lights in the lab.
That's it.
And he goes in. And he sees the ceiling's broken. There's broken glass everywhere and like rubble and stuff like that. And then he sees something behind this like clear curtain. Like an idiot decides to go straight up to it because he's a janitor.
Yeah, in Star Labs. The Kryptonian ship's there, bruv.
Sorry, security.
Right.
Could you guys come down here? I'm a janitor, don't worry. I've got some windowing.
I've got a wet mop. I think I got it handled. All right.
Anyway, he goes in there and there's a monster that looks nothing like Batman.
It looks nothing like Batman. It will be...
Just to make that clear, it looks nothing like Batman.
It also looks nothing like the frickin' sketch.
That's the thing. That's the point we're gonna come to when he talks about it. Just to be clear, nothing like Batman.
Right.
This is a weird alien thing with weird legs. It's got wings that are like fly.
Not
like
even
a fly.
close to a cape. It's clearly got legs and arms.
Exactly. The legs have got multiple points of articulation. Not like a human at all. Not Batman at all. Anyway, then we go back to Themyscira.
Yeah, they say that we need to warn Diana. We'll light
the ancient fires.
Light the ancient fires, or is it the ancient signal fire? Something like that.
Yeah.
And then someone says, the world, it's been 5,000 years, the world of men won't know what it means. Exactly. And they say, well, she will.
Exactly.
And then there's a little ritualistic scene where they go to, there's a place where there's 2 giant fire sconces.
Yeah.
And then one of the Amazons hands the queen the Arrow of Artemis.
Yes.
Who's one of the other gods who we'll see in the flashback. Now it makes sense.
In the previous version, it was she shoots
a flaming arrow.
An arrow across the world and lands in Greece and sets a ruin on fire. And we're like, cool, that just is a signal to Wonder Woman. I feel like you could have got a message a better way.
And also, like, try WhatsApp, but also,
in it,
like, how did you reach?
Yeah.
Like, I get that they're great archers, but, like, I'll give them 500 meters.
Yeah.
By far the longest arrow shot ever made, ever.
Exactly.
Right? This thing goes kilometers. It goes into clouds and crosses, let's say they're in the middle of whatever's the
Indian
Greek Ocean. Well, they're near Greece, aren't they?
Oh, it's the Mediterranean
Greece.
Ocean?
So let's say they're in the Mediterranean Ocean. So only halfway.
Yeah.
That's miles.
Yeah.
Right?
And somehow she makes it.
Because it's the Arrow of Artemis. And when she speaks, it sounds like she's telling the arrow what it is that it needs to show Diana.
Instructions. It's almost like, because it's magical. It's not just a random arrow. It's the instructions for the arrow, what its purpose is and what it has to do. She pulls it, boom, pings it, goes all the way into a ruin, sets the ruin on fire. And then immediately we cut to Diana's work. Yeah. And she's completely overdressed, by the way.
She looks
stunning.
Incredible.
Stunning. She's just dusting off a nice little...
But again, this is important. Diana isn't just one of the finest warriors on the planet, not just the daughter of Zeus, not just one of the strongest, I was going to say Avengers, of the Justice League. She's also the top of her chosen field as her cover.
She's great.
Right? This is like the Venus de Milo or something.
You can't fake it there. You have to earn your way up to get to there.
Right.
She's actually very good
In
at
fairness, she
her
has
company.
5,000 years of history behind her, but...
True, and yeah, she's
right.
there.
And then she hits some guys come in, they say like, oh, what'd you do on the weekend? Nothing special. You might as well disappear, blah, blah, blah. And then someone goes, we have all of this to deal with, and now arson. Look, turns on the news, and she's not paying attention. She says, this fire's been raging for 5 days. Even from all the way over here, we can see the fire raging in the Temple of the Amazons.
Interesting. Let me just pay attention now. And she realizes what that means.
Right.
Then we cut back to the lab. With the FBI have come in after the break-in there, things like that. And Douchey McDouche, FBI agent, comes up to Dr. Stone and is proper like giving him shit.
Yeah, like what the frick?
It's like, what was in this box? And it's like, we don't know. And it's like,
what do you mean you don't know?
What do you mean you don't know? It's like, that's why we're studying it.
Like, it's alien technology. Here, he even says is the guy, Jimmy Woo, whatever the guy's name is.
The funny thing is that he's an important character in the DC universe, but not yet. And I can't remember his name ever.
But he opens the thing and it's the Kryptonian ship. And he's like, we're Star Labs. We're not military. We're contractors. So fuck off.
Yeah. We study xenosciences.
Yeah. We don't know what it was.
Yeah.
That's why we were studying it. All we know is that it's alien. Now, what a great cover.
Yeah,
because he nicked the thing.
Yeah,
but like we don't know.
Yeah,
what do you mean you don't know? Tell me what this thing does then. It's
exactly.
An alien. You go and explain that.
That's what we're here to find out.
Right, you mug.
Fucking idiot. I tell you something though. The way they show the Superman ship. Yeah. They're like, let us show you something. And it's like, this is the Superman ship, the ship that came over here. He doesn't add anything else to it. I'm like, do you think he didn't notice the ship when he came in? It's a big ship, and it's in the middle of New York, metropolis and whatnot. It's in the middle of... I think he knew it was there.
I think the point he's basically making is, you're an idiot. We do alien research.
Yeah.
The whole reason we're here is we don't know what any of this stuff is. That's why we're here. Like, what was it? A box.
Exactly. We don't know much.
I don't know. It could have been a graphics card. It could have been a PS6. Yeah, it could have just been a chair.
A fancy stool right there. Anyway, Dr. Stone then cuts to home. He's back home with where Victor is. And he's like, Victor, the box isn't safe here at home. So some monsters came to the lab and they tried to steal it. And they could steal it from here. He doesn't say it exactly like that, but I'm just messing around.
Basically.
And then... Unfortunately, Victor, not in the mood because he's not very happy with what's going on.
You know a lot about making monsters. Come on,
especially
Vic.
how to make them. It's like, oh, come on,
Go on, Vic.
I know, bro. I know. I feel you.
Like, I get
there's some serious here.
There's some priorities in
Exactly. Anyway, then we cut to Diana. She goes back to that ruin.
She goes to the temple in Crete or wherever it is.
Exactly. She pulls out the arrow and she sees that it's got writing on it, and she understands what it means because she can read whatever language is on there.
Amazonian.
Ancient
Amazonian Greek.
Ancient Amazonian Greek, something like that. We'll stick some Latin in
language
there as
of
well.
the gods.
The language of the gods. There. It was one of those lessons she had when she was a kid. She reads it and she grabs a stick, some rag, and an open bottle of gasoline.
A thing.
Don't know why.
It's there.
And lights it up and then falls down into a pit in heels.
So, I'm going to say, because I thought that the very first time, being that she is like an Amazonian and knows the 5,000 years of their history and all that stuff, because she will have studied it, she's also thousands of years old. Yeah. She knows... This is stuff underneath, right? Like the catacombs and all the histories and stuff that's there for the priestesses and stuff. It's not there for like the average worshipper of the Amazons or whatever.
No one else has ever seen this place. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like the hidden treasure underneath. It's the Batcave of the thing.
Yeah.
She knows how to get down there and knows what's down there.
Exactly.
So although she does drop a ridiculous distance in heels, she is also Wonder Woman.
Yes.
And can also fly.
I was like, damn, she did that in heels. That's quite mad, right? That's quite mad.
Right.
Oh, by the way, one thing, speaking about heels, I don't know why heels made me think of this. Maybe it's because it's Diana. I promised my girlfriend I'd bring this up. She was watching the movie with me for like the third time or something like when I was watching it. She only watched it once, but on the third time she watched it, she wanted me to say that, why is it that the last two women on the Themyscira, when they were dropping that thing, when they were holding it, why did they stay inside? Why couldn't they just go, and then pull themselves out? And I was like, it's a point. The whole point was sacrifice. But yeah, you could have.
I also agree. I will say that by the time she gets out, they're like below their knees.
They're
right?
really low
they're
down.
almost folded over. The
Yeah.
point is that they're just stopping it.
My missus was just like, they could have saved those two girls right there.
Yeah, I feel like they probably could. I also, yeah, I get it.
Anyway, I did
Why
want to
did
rewind
heels
that
make
there.
you think of that? Because those ladies are not in heels.
Exactly. They're not in heels. They're not dropping from a distance. They're not in a dark catacomb. Nothing made me think of it, but I did think of it. That's just how weird
Cool.
I am. Anyway, so she goes down there.
There's I don't know if it was meant that way or if the arrow has some interaction, but like there is a cutout for an arrow.
I had that. Yeah, the arrow made it appear
Yes.
almost and whatnot. So
I
it's like
think
she
so as well.
waves it in front. A hole appears that looks like an arrow.
Right.
And it gets sucked in and it's just...
Yeah.
And the door opens up and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it's like a key. And inside is the story of the war that happened before and the story of Darkseid.
It's really good because it looks like it is the sort of thing you see in ancient Greek stuff. And it seems to pretty well tell the story.
Yeah.
Just from the pictures.
Yeah, even from the pictures you get
also,
it.
It is also written like, there was an attack. It's in ancient Greek or
It's
whatever.
in the language that's on the thing.
But it would say like, there was an attack. They came from the skies. The guy's name was Darkseid. He had these 3 boxes. They did this. It was mystical, blah, blah, blah.
Well, Unity.
Right. And so she got... that's how she knows.
Yes.
Because it's not like she just goes down there and sees these pictures.
Yeah.
Well, like... No, there's
No,
definitely...
she doesn't assume. I'm saying it's written there.
Right, exactly. It's not like she goes down and guesses from the pictures.
Yeah.
It's physically said, like a comic strip. This is the thing.
Yeah.
The forces of man, Atlantis and Amazons and the gods all united. There were heroes, guardians from the stars, talking about the Green Lantern, right? Like,
exactly. Another thing that I really liked about this is that these walls, this whole thing was actually made. It was actually like real artwork made on a wall in that sort of like ancient look to make it look like it was aged a bit. It looked fucking cool.
It looks sick.
And that's one thing that I really love about Zack Snyder. Like, he built the Batcave.
Yeah.
He built the Batmobile.
Yeah.
He built all the guns that Batman carries and whatnot. And he built this mother trucker.
Having that stuff
Real is
going to make you... That's also one of the reasons I think the Green Lantern movie sucks so much.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't really anything there except the lantern, the thing he refuels the ring from. Everything else is imaginary.
And also, another reason why I think there are DC movies that are slightly better than Marvel sometimes is because Marvel, for the most part, it's just CG for everything.
Yeah.
A lot of things.
They're in a room with a lot of blue
in it.
or
And
green.
I get it because it's superheroes. These things don't exist.
Yeah.
I get it. But what you can make, like a Batcave,
Oh my God, it looks so
he
good.
makes it.
Yeah.
And that sort of makes everything a little bit better. There are bits as well where there's CG where you have to do CG. I get it.
Yeah, totally.
But there are some things you can... Oh, come on, man. Come on, help us out.
Yeah.
Anyway, tells the story of Darkseid. Then we cut to Aquaman.
Arthur visiting an Atlantean temple, which, by the way, is almost the exact same scene as in Aquaman. Yeah.
Oh, but he saves the fisherman first, and then he goes into the sea and
that's
whatnot.
right. Yeah.
It's a more of a character building scene. He's drinking alcohol.
It's to prove that he is kind of wayward because he's always drinking, but he still has like a soul. It's very much like the cyborg scene. So like he does save people, but he also kind of is like, this guy's got my tab sort of thing, right? Yeah. Then he goes down to the temple.
And we see none other than long-haired Willem Dafoe.
Willem the Fish.
I forgot you came up with that name in Aquaman.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Long-haired Willem the Fish. And my God, does he look beautiful? Does he look beautiful with that long hair or not? Tell me, bro. Tell me.
He looks. That's for sure.
I loved it. I was just like, oh, this gorgeous man.
It's I think Willem
it was
Dafoe.
A spitting image between him and Jason Momoa. They
both
have long hair.
I feel like he would have made more sense instead of long hair. Just make him a fucking eel. Do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter. He's Willem Dafoe. Like he's very recognizable. You know.
Oh God.
And he comes and says like, you won't come to Atlantis. You won't do all this stuff. You never sleep in the same place twice, but you're always here.
Always coming here.
It's also like it's a statue of Atlan, King Atlan.
King Atlan.
Which is like the identical way to how he actually recognized in the movie, and starts beefing him out about not doing his like kingly duties, even though he's not the freaking king, and like they've fallen out. It does, however, explain how he gets his mother's trident because he has that in Aquaman, and
we never see it any other time. I'm like, how does he get that body armor suit thing?
Right.
How does he get the trident? This scene is required.
Yeah, it's actually really important for that because he has a beef with Atlantis. He's never actually been. there's his mother didn't leave any of that stuff. Either it was taken with her or she took it with her, like whatever, however that goes down. Like, there's no reason he would have these things. Oh, because Volko brought them to him. Okay.
Exactly.
Cool. And he basically says, like, there are guards.
Makes sense there.
Does he tell them that guards are going missing places?
Yeah, guards are going missing. They're being taken by the surface, he's saying. And it's like, not my problem.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. It's like, you have to pay it. You have to do your duty and whatnot. And eventually, like, throws down the trident to give to him. And then he dusts out of there. Yeah. And then Aquaman's like, all right, I will pick this up.
I'm not going to leave it.
Come on, it was a gift.
It's my mum's.
It'd be rude to leave it.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And what's really good about this boy is that you can tell that he has this really bad relationship with Atlantis.
And because it's about his mother, the one guy that actually gave him any attention, Volko, he has a bad relationship. It soured that relationship because he never got any straight answers, and then when he did, it wasn't anywhere close to the answer they wanted, and he's the only guy from Atlantis he can project those feelings towards. So, it's pretty good.
And then we cut to Steppenwolf.
That's it. Not Darkseid, Desard.
Yes, exactly. He uses the big space phone with the mother box in it. I don't know other way to call it, video call, whatever. Exactly. It's one of those dials for sure.
God damn these 2000
God damn it, why are space numbers so long?
Right.
And he's like, Desard. And he explains his plan to him. It's like, I found the first mother box. The other two haven't awoken, but the parademons sense it. And soon we'll take it from them.
Importantly, we learn his backstory.
Yes.
We learn that he almost turned against Darkseid, and that the people in his family, because I thought it meant that he was related to Darkseid. It's not. It's that his family turned on Darkseid and then he killed them.
Yes.
And that to earn his way back in,
he was too proud to follow what the family was in, and he was exiled because of it.
Right, something like that. Yeah. And that he's on Darkseid's shit list, but still can prove himself useful. And if he gives him 50,000 worlds,
you still owe 50,000 worlds before you
he'll hear your
pleas.
And sort of let you back into the in crowd. Exactly. So we find that Steppenwolf was involved in this sort of almost this coup, and then chose Darkseid, but is making up for the fact that he was involved in it, and that he desperately wants to be, and that he's trying to work off a debt. That he feels obliged, he really is loyal to this guy. It's really big for his character as character development. I mean, we don't like Steppenwolf, but you can see his motivations.
Exactly. That's what makes a good villain. You can understand their motivations. It may not be good stuff, but you can get it.
When he finds the thing, which we'll talk about when we get there, he comes and speaks to Desard and says, look, I have this.
I've got it.
I got my way in. Yeah. He's proud of himself. He can't wait to bring this to Darkseid. It's good. It makes sense for him.
Exactly.
And then he says one of the baddest lines in the movie, which makes so much sense. It makes this whole movie make sense. Do you want to take it?
The earth will fall and the boxes will be united. There are no protectors here. No guardians, no lanterns, no Kryptonian. This world will fall just like the others. For Darkseid.
It's that specific. There are no protectors, no lantern, no Kryptonian. That makes the whole movie make sense.
Because before was it there's no Kryptonian? That's what he says. And
the Kryptonian's dead or something like that.
Yeah, it makes it sound like, okay, don't get me wrong, Kryptonian, most powerful guy on Earth. Yeah, cool, get it, really powerful. But it sounds like one guy. Yeah. When he says no protectors, no guardians, no lanterns, no Kryptonian, it's like, we are seriously open to attack. Oh my God, we're
defenseless. What we should do is make an AI, make it a body out of some
precious metal.
Right. Maybe not adamantium. I'm saying just 1 tier below.
1 tier below.
Saying that deals with vibrations really well because he'll be fighting really
something
strong.
Like that. Right. Haven't heard of it.
And make an AI that can control everything.
Exactly. That's definitely what we should do right here.
And then maybe we'll find some ancient technology or powerful object to power the AI.
Yeah, exactly. And do you know what? They should make a movie out of that. And maybe Joss Whedon should work, direct it. Fucking genius. There you go, Joss. You got some work.
But it's cool because now we see that Darkseid, where he stands in the pecking order, the fact that he isn't even speaking directly to Darkseid.
Exactly.
Steppenwolf is speaking to another guy, Desard, who also has plans and also knows about him and also is in a position of power above him, but below Darkseid. There's a pecking order to the structure, and that whether it's 50,000 worlds, because he just wants to conquer 50,000 worlds, or because they're looking for something, or whatever. There's a motivation here. Where before it's just Steppenwolf is the bad guy.
There you go, guys.
And then Darkseid's also the badder guy.
Yeah, he's a bad guy, and that's it. There you go.
Right.
Anyway, we cut to
Bruce and Diana talking about by their troop carrier.
Diana breaks into Wayne Aerospace Engineering Wing, and I love it. Bruce is like with a wrench, just like I'm fixing this giant troop carrier, guys. One sec. This is what's broken right here. One guy's gonna sort this out.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it, guys.
Yeah.
It's like
it's the wrong fitting.
Damn it, I got the wrong wrench. 1 second, we could grab another one. Oh shit.
Oh damn, I've got an imperial adjustable wrench. I need a metric one.
God damn it, they just hate it when that happens. Oh, all the time. Alfred. I love the whole facade we've got that Bruce and Alfred do everything.
Right.
No one else, because no one else can know the secret, but they do everything. Anyway, and he doesn't even turn around. He's like, I spend millions of dollars on like security for these places, and it's like,
well, you got your money's worth,
innit? And it only took me a minute to break into it. I was like, oh god, that's so
well
good.
shit.
Anyway, the next part, Diana breaks down the whole situation, what she learned from all those murals and stuff.
We
like
see
that
the flashback.
We see what happened. And it's really fucking sick.
It's pretty sick.
Really sick. So what happens is Darkseid turns up on Earth.
Yeah.
Jumps out of his troop carrier that he's got right here that actually works and doesn't get fixed by one person. Whacks down his...
whatever that is.
Double-ended... whatever. Whacks it down. Lava everywhere in a really cool pattern. Showing the Omega symbol and whatnot on the ground and stuff.
That is the anti-life equation. I'm pretty sure that's the thing.
See, that's the thing. That's what they hint to later, but I didn't understand it fully. I was like,
I don't know,
because that's what Steppenwolf sees in his vision. I'm like, so wouldn't he have seen? Wouldn't?
I think he knows. I think he's fighting for it.
Okay, sorry. I know the thing, but it's okay.
It's still recording.
Still recording. Everything's good. Anyway,
and then they basically beef.
Beef out.
The tribes of men, Atlantis, the Amazonians, and the older gods, plus the elder gods. I mean, a Green Lantern. The Lantern, which is sick.
Really, really cool. Also, the Green Lantern think that they get in a big beef right here. The Green Lantern goes to attack Darkseid, gets murked quite quickly.
Very quickly.
But the way he does it as well, like he goes to shoot him with some like green laser stuff from his ring, gets his hand cut off, and then gets stabbed. And the ring does what the ring does.
So this is very close to being like the end.
Yes.
Because had Darkseid is this close to grabbing that ring, I think no one really clocked how close that came to being very, very, very bad. Because one thing Darkseid has is a very strong will.
Yes. And if you had put that on right there, that could have been the end of it there.
That's it. He wins.
And he's just about to grab it, and I think Artemis shoots an arrow and whatnot, so that pushes him off of balance. And Zeus, ripped Zeus.
Yeah.
The muscles are too big.
They are too big, and he's too young. He's too young. His beard is way too fine and too black, and he looks like he should be in 300, not in this.
Exactly, 300. That's what he's wearing. Anyway, charges up a bolt and whatnot.
It's sick.
Shoots it at him, and while he's shooting it at him, Ares comes along with a massive axe, bang, right in like the clavicle area right here, and fucks Darkseid up.
He's like nearly dead.
Yeah. And he gets taken away by the parademons. Gets taken away by the parademons onto his troop ship. They drop him down, and he passes out. He's
freaking bleeding all over the place. Like, I
was like, this is armor
Ares
is needed.
Like the hero.
Ares is the hero, really.
It's true.
He's the hero of every story. Anyway, and also in the background as well, the 3 or 4. I don't know, witches or something like that.
Yeah.
Are trying to make the unity. They're trying giving prayers or something like that. Apparently, it's actual science, but it looks like
it's so advanced. I mean, like trying to explain an iPhone to a caveman. True, it is magic.
Witchcraft, isn't it? And they're trying to make the unity happen. Zeus charges up his bolt again, smashes the mother boxes that separates them with enough electricity, and they kill everyone else, and then everyone else just disappears off. They retreat.
important that we've established now that enough electricity will separate the boxes.
Exactly.
Very
enough
important.
energy. We'll do that. And they're like, well, we got rid of Darkseid. Yes,
everybody
we did
celebrates.
this. Guys, right here, the three factions will celebrate
She
right there.
wraps up the story like it was done 1,000 worlds. The boxes were split among men, Atlantis, and Amazon.
This is the dumb thing. They see the three boxes and they're like, okay, each one of the factions said they'll keep it safe. They'll give they'll pledge it themselves to keep it safe.
Atlantis has like the Kraken put things on it, and it looks like it's all suction cuppy.
Exactly.
The Amazons use like god magic to seal it away.
Laser light thing and whatnot.
The humans, they put it in a metal box and then bury it 2 feet under the ground in a forest because these things are the same.
I was like, two of the guys are really trying. The third faction, not so much.
Really phoning it in, and
I was like,
really
we'll
phoning
keep it
it
in a chamber underwater, under constant guard.
Amazons
we'll keep it
in a temple where
that could fall off of the edge if we need to. We can sacrifice it and whatnot.
with surrounded by 30 of the finest warriors the planet's ever known, who are immortal.
We'll just bury it in a ditch for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And we'll forget all about it. It's not.
Yeah. What the fuck? What? You'll what? You'll do what? You the guys that saw Darkseid arrive with those spaceships and who fought beside a Green Lantern and the three gods of the ancient Greeks and King Atlan, it looks like. Like, are you kidding me? Are you dumb? Are you kidding me?
I don't know what the fuck happened.
Yeah,
there,
just no, forget actual. Just bit of plywood, just knock it together,
right,
dump it in a hole in it. Yeah.
worry,
Just
man,
fly
lads.
tip it somewhere.
we'll just throw it up in a tree. Don't worry about it. What? Anyway, that ends right there after he explained the story, and it's part 3. Beloved mother, beloved son.
Yes. Barry's going to a job interview.
He is
in Central Shitty.
Yeah, Central City right here. He's he's talking. It's a dog grooming shop, right? Dog
and
watching shop.
ironically, he's running late.
Exactly. And he gets there. It's like, oh, sorry. So I thought the bus was late, but then it wasn't late, and then I was getting on, and then the old woman in front was trying to count change and like that. It's funny because it's a quirky character they're building.
Yes, I know what you're about to say. I totally agree.
Yeah,
it's a bit too much.
A bit.
It's a bit too much, and like I get that, like he talks quick because he's very fast and all that stuff. And I get that he's supposed to be quirky and kind of the comic relief. Okay, it's just not. It's just a bit too far.
Yeah, I don't know if they were directing him to say like a bit like Superman. So you know, Superman is clumsy at sometimes, or Clark Kent is clumsy sometimes, to try and throw off the scent that he's Superman.
Yeah,
maybe they're trying to do something like that, but I don't know. They don't see his face
like
for Barry Allen for the Flash.
Yeah,
maybe that was a direction choice. I'm not sure. But anyway, and then he does the resume thing. I don't need it.
It's just silly. Also because Barry Allen's a freaking genius.
Yeah.
Barry Allen is like Bruce Wayne, Lex Luthor levels of intelligence, right? He built his own suit. He has that giant like free electricity flash cave.
Yeah.
Like he's a big
smart.
deal. He's a big deal. He figures out all of the Speed Force. He figured that out.
After that trial and error. And what's really shitty about it is that immediately after that is one of the greatest Flash moments ever.
It's so good. It's my favorite in the whole movie. It's my favorite Flash scene, and it's my favorite super speed scene.
When he walks in, he bumps into this beautiful lady.
Yeah.
Don't know who she is yet. We're like, oh my God, who's that?
Beautiful mocha colored woman who Iris West is. That's how she's in the comics as well. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because the guy that takes him in is the police chief guy, who again is important because he's a black character in the police force at the time the comics were made. Exactly. Again, comics for everybody. You don't need to make a statement about it. They're specifically there to be for everybody.
No, they're just for white men. That's all it's for. Exactly. Not for everybody. Not inclusivity.
Also, the love of his life is this girl.
And I love how they have this moment. They don't say anything, but they're like both entranced, absolutely enraptured with each other.
Love at first sight.
Exactly.
True love. Yeah.
It's so
because that's who they are.
But we don't know anything about her yet. But we're like, oh my God, this is gonna be.
The only downside is it retcons his past.
A bit, yeah. Because like growing up together and stuff like that. Yeah, a bit. Okay, I do get that.
But no, as we know that's Iris West, or at least I'm choosing to believe because it had better be.
Yeah.
Cool scene.
Yes. She's getting her car started. It's a very good looking car, very
from like the 30s.
Exactly.
Like Marty McFly is having to drive this thing to the freaking prom.
The prom, exactly.
Right? Like, what?
It's very unreliable. She's just about getting it
She
started.
says this one thing that's very endearing. She's like, come on, I thought we were supposed to be friends now. Like, after she's got it fixed.
It's like talking to the car.
Right.
And coming down the road is a truck with a guy eating a burger. The most disgusting shit in the world, because the guy drops the burger on the floor.
Yeah.
And he goes down to go pick it up off of this disgusting ass floor.
Yeah.
Some things, the 2-second rule applies.
Yeah. If you drop your bagel into dog shit, maybe, like, 2-second rule is fine.
Yeah, exactly.
But the state of this floor.
Exactly. It's like where his feet are. This guy strikes me as the kind of guy that's like, oh man, I really wanted some ketchup and I squirted it on the floor by mistake. Let me just skim the top off
The top,
it. It's like, oh god, yes, I get it. But
based
come
on his reaction to the carnage he causes, he probably is that kind of guy.
Yeah, exactly. So he tries to reach down to grab this burger, and as he's doing that, random beautiful woman,
not Iris West,
not Iris West, definitely Iris West. She is pulling out
because her light's green and his has gone red.
Exactly. She looks into the shop of the pet shop.
Locks eyes with Barry again.
And
so
like,
sweet.
Super entranced with each other, even though she should be looking at the road.
And he should be looking at the lady interviewing him.
Exactly. He's receiving a new job here.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, and immediately everything slows down.
So good.
And then what happens?
The lightning. Barry turns on the spot. Trainers explode.
Absolutely explodes.
which I really appreciated, because in the scenes that we saw, Barry saves Iris West, and I said, why is he barefoot?
Yeah.
Right? Like, he's
there. It was
there.
funny when you saw that. You was like, out of everything, like, oh my god, he does this cool scene. Everyone's like, oh, this is so great. You're just like, why is he barefoot?
I know. It was...
But you got your answer.
Right, I did. And also, this does super speed really well. Yeah. So, obviously, there's the lightning, because Barry isn't actually super fast. He has access to the Speed Force, which is a different thing. This isn't Quicksilver. But for right now, he functionally moves super fast. So, his trainers explode as he turns and runs. I love that he puts out his finger and the glass turns to, like, it's like a liquid.
Liquid at that speed, right?
Right. And it does break apart, but...
After the tension has just forced it into a point of no return.
Looks so good.
So good.
Runs out to the road, stops. The way he stops as well, like crumpling the concrete. Because Barry isn't you wouldn't say that Barry Allen is super tough, but while he's moving at this speed, he functionally is.
Exactly. It ruins... It's like a huge amount of physics, of energy just going into that stop.
Exactly.
Right there. Yeah.
Then he does something that's insanely creepy, unless you know that's Iris West.
Yeah.
Which is, as she's going, he like strokes her face, creepy enough, then takes a hot dog, which I was getting really weird vibes. Really, really weird vibes.
The way he smiled at it, he was like, almost like he's like, I'm thinking about what's happening later. I was like, what's good?
The scene is saved by the fact that he like pockets it, which was funny. And for me, we didn't need all the comic relief in the shop, because the pocketing of the thing, the way he does it, all slow-mo, that was actually pretty hilarious.
It's like, what are you going to do with that? Where are you going to put that? Where are you
just go in the pocket.
Oh, whew, okay.
Yeah.
Saved.
And then like takes her, and it's cool because like at that speed and the way he's moving, the amount of force he would be moving, like he can move her like she's like weightless, basically, because that is the way that would probably work. And he just moves her, turns her, puts her arms together, so she doesn't slap one against the concrete at the speed of sound and break it, right? And like lays her down, and then everything resumes, which is a great scene.
Car just blows up in the background.
The car something blows up. The guy like
stops.
He's like, oh, that's going to be an insurance claim.
Is my burger still okay?
Also, and people have noticed this, like there is a lot of weird slow-mo around food. The hot dog, the
sesame seed. Yeah.
Why are we slow-moing this? But okay.
We need more slow-mo, guys. More slow-mo. That's Zack Snyder in the room. He's like, we need more slow-mo.
And then they have another moment where they lock eyes.
Yes.
And Barry, being the alpha Chad that he is, runs away.
I love the idea. It's just like, it just occurred to him. Oh shit, she's seen me. Oh,
right. And then the very next shot is the lady like looking at the carnage and the broken window.
What the hell happened?
And Barry's like, oh my god, this is crazy. He's got like a snack. He's like, at times like this, I always bring a meat snack for the animals. You know, keeps them calm. So like, I start Monday. See, all of that is enough comic relief.
Yeah.
We didn't need the crappy stuff at the beginning, because Barry Allen's a super intelligent guy. Yeah. He's I think he's confident, just not in certain areas, like not with girls, which is fine. Like he's awkward and younger. Yeah. But like he should be fine talking to this lady. Why, it's weird.
Anyway, we then cut to a shot of the sea where the parademons are dragging some Atlanteans from the sea.
This is going to be your favorite scene, right? With the fucking creepy spider. I thought it was going to go in his mouth.
I thought so too.
I was like not okay for this movie.
This is going full face hugger. They're going to go something in his mouth. It's going to be
the parademons drag the border guards out.
To be interrogated, right?
One of them's like, I'll never betray fucking Atlantis.
No son or daughter of Atlantis will ever tell you. And he throws
Swats him, yeah.
Oh my God, and the blood splatter. It's how is that guy still alive?
Right? Atlantean biology, I guess.
Right? And then the face hugger Spider-Bot comes out.
It's weird because I tried to watch it a couple times, and to me, at least at full speed, it looks like it just kind of appears.
Yeah.
I would have rather the armor like pulls apart
one bit, comes
and then
out, right?
and then it walks down. Sort of like how Cyborg's arm, he has an extra arm
comes out,
right? Like it kind of detaches and grows. I would have
gap there.
Yeah,
I get what you mean.
It jumps on his head. Thankfully, it doesn't go in his mouth.
Thankfully, and shows him the image of the chamber where the mother box is being held. It's like you'll never betray, but you already have.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's very ominous.
Yes,
it's very good.
Then we cut to Lois's apartment, and Lois is torturing herself by looking at Clark's things.
It's really sad. Really. Again, I like Lois in this. I like her so much more. I rate Amy Adams as an actress, but not as Lois in any of the other stuff before.
But this time you got her.
She's Lois Lane.
She got you.
She's Lois Lane.
And looking at his cape too as well, that's really, it's just really, 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 really bad right there. And then we cut to Bruce and Diana.
Is it Bruce and Diana? I thought it was Vic. I thought Vic got the Silas Stone comes home and leaves him the tape recorder and says like, look, if you won't forgive me, at least forgive yourself, and leaves the tape recorder. And then he starts listening to it. I think that's right. Yeah, Parademon Steppenwolf gets the mother box location with the gross spider. Then it's the her grieving, and then Silas Stone comes home. That's how I have it.
Why do I have it as my principal? Because I have the backstory of Victor before then.
So
let me just see. Victor.
Oh, shit. Didn't we already do that one? I swear we already covered it. I swear we've already covered it.
The backstory, like
might have
the
been
mother and stuff like that.
Frick. I don't remember. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. We'll do it now.
Let me show you what I've got here first of all. So, and what I've got here is that Bruce and Diana. It might just be a page just gone flying somewhere, maybe or something like that, because you do flip over in it. Anyway, Bruce and Diana are discussing the other League members, and they're talking about, so they buy the computer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, what about Aquaman? And he goes, would he fight with us? He's like,
more or less. More or less. Yeah, this is a great scene. He's like, he said no.
He said no. Okay. And they have a super awkward moment where they both go for the mouse and they touch hands. They're like, this could happen to anyone. It's just.
What's funny is that it's kind of awkward because they both know there's a huge amount of sexual tension here.
Oh, yes.
Because Bruce Wayne is not intimidated by, look, she says like 9 out of 10 men would have got you, but I'm the one. Like Bruce Wayne has been with like hot woman. Not enough.
Yes.
Right. The fact that she is who she is, closing in on enough, but not quite there still.
That's something he would go for. It's like on top of being hot, there's more to you than that.
So now there's a reason to pursue her, but like this is work. They're trying to save the world, but they both sort of start to feel the same way.
And the last time that Gal Gadot got some was 1984.
Facts.
Long time ago.
Where she basically raped a skinwalked body. Yeah. Let's skip that.
Let's go over that one right there.
Let's skip that because that stone could have totally just brought Steve back.
Yeah, let's not do anything.
We won't. Yeah.
And then they talk about then we get Victor Stone's backstory scene, and this is in my notes anyway.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're right, because so Bruce goes off says he's going off to Central City.
Yes.
She starts,
I think it's a little bit later, that bit what you're talking about, where she starts Googling him and whatnot.
Yeah,
it's a little bit further down
You're
here.
right.
We just get the Victor Stone back scene right here, where Victor's mother gets called into the principal's office, and Victor's outside, and he's got a smug little face on his, like smiling like that. And because of Victor has really superior intellect, and he knows how to use computers and stuff like that. This is before he becomes cyborg and stuff like that. He uses his ability to hack computers to fix the grades of his friends.
Yeah.
Because they've had bad times. Their parents have been
lost
through
the house or something. Yeah.
Exactly. And the principal's proper like, just because he can do this, he can't go change people's grades. And the mother lays down a smackdown line. It's like, like he's helping his friends out because they've done this, because they lost their house. Yeah. What have you done for them? And he's like,
yeah, it's good, and it builds to Victor actually having a great character.
Exactly, he had a soul. He was a hero type guy before anything happened and whatnot. They also weave in a couple of great hand-egg game scenes as well.
A lot of hand-egg.
Victor's very good at hand-egg, obviously. There's a touching moment. Once he wins the game. He goes off into the corner. His mother's there, blowing him a kiss, and there's an empty seat right next to her, showing that
his dad's not there. Yeah, he got held up at the lab again.
And it sets the tone for the relationship between the father and the son, and how it has to change later, I guess, and whatnot. Anyway, they get in the car. They're on their way home, and there's a touching moment discussing about the father's never there. He's been held at the lab, like you said.
You're as busy as he is, but you always make the time.
Exactly.
That kind of deal,
And fucking Ray Fisher here.
He's really good.
He starts to cry in like a child way, like a teenager way would. He's like he's never here, like you're here, and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, this is powerful here. And then the worst happens.
Yeah.
T-boned by something. He even puts out his hand to like try and stop it in that split moment. Doesn't work.
Cut. Yeah.
And then we hear
the doorbell.
The doorbell. That's what we hear. Ignore that. Anyway, then we hear Dr. Stone, your wife didn't survive, and your son won't either.
Where is this in the movie? I forget. It's not in my notes. I've skipped it, is what I've done. But I don't know where. It just isn't here.
Strange. I have to assume that maybe you've lost a page.
No.
Really?
I managed to get this first bit onto 2 pages, but I've skipped this scene and I can't know where it fits. So where does it come after you? After the Atlantean bit?
So
then what's next?
Then we just go through montage. I've got it after this bit where he's like talking to the recorder and finding out his powers and stuff like that.
After it, or
just after this, so like the hand egg scene and stuff like that.
Yeah, so we get the backstory. Then Silas comes home, gives him the recorder, and then that's where we learn about his powers.
Yes,
right. Okay, so we see his backstory.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a new part, isn't it? It's a new part, and then it starts with this, right?
I don't know if there's a part here.
Never mind.
Because anyway, there's just have the bit of the backstory there and see what happens, and his wife won't survive, and he's not ready to accept his son dying. He's like, I'm not gonna let you die. Yeah. I'm not gonna let you die. And
then he walks into the apartment.
Exactly.
And basically says, like, if you won't...
It's like, you got a second chance now. You can go out, you can have a life.
You don't have to forgive me, but at least forgive yourself, something like that. Yeah. And leaves the recorder.
Leaves the recorder down there. And then we get a cool montage of him learning his powers. Learning to fly, learning to use computer stuff.
So he picks up the recorder, and it looks like he's going to smash it, but then he hits play, which, by the way, this recorder is... vastly outdated.
I was gonna say this is
set in the 2020s in a similar universe. Like,
he's an older guy than the Dr. Stone, so maybe
I guess,
even though he uses really high tech equipment,
right?
So you think he would have a digital one,
but so he basically this recorder is like, look, basically as a reachercher, these are the things you can do, right? Your body reacts to stuff differently. You're not just, like, your super strength is just the tip of the iceberg. Your mind is where everything is. Like in
a world of ones and zeros, you are the absolute master, he says.
Right. Like you can
manipulate anything. No firewall can hold you back. You can breach any security system and stuff like that.
And there's this cool shot of Vic as himself, like fully flesh, with like the world's nukes just like bearing down on him, and then he just throws them away. There's it's like the world's markets will seem
child's plaything to you.
Right. And then there's the bull and the bear fighting.
Yes.
And so this is the bit that I didn't clock. The building he's going into is like, I guess, the Fed or something, some like giant bank thing, because it looks like Gotham or a city, but it's all in piles of money.
Yeah.
Which I didn't clock at the beginning, because that's why he finds this woman. He walks up to a very small pile of money with a few coins and stuff on it. And it's from that he finds the waitress. He doesn't just find someone online.
Yeah.
He sees the money and goes, who does this belong to? And it comes up, and then he finds the footage of her, finds her working and no one leaving good tips, and finds her like
giving that little tip to a homeless person, even though it's nothing.
Even though it's nothing, even though she's struggling to buy all the stuff she needs for her 2 kids, taking the bus to get somewhere, going to her apartment, and they've changed the locks.
Milk and stuff like that. It's really, she's really on hard times, and she's a decent person, stuff like that.
Exactly, and then he
$100,000 more.
Yeah.
And then cuts to him outside in the rain watching her.
Importantly, he's done that while he's taken an interest in this woman. He wants to see her reaction when she finds the money, because he's just doing a good anonymous deed. It isn't it isn't creepy.
Yeah.
Whereas some of the Flash stuff was.
Yep.
And he's doing that money bit.
Yeah.
He's doing that as he's going up to her.
Yeah.
So it's important that he can do two things at once.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it is actually kind of really important.
Yeah.
And he sees her reaction, and it's very genuine. It's really well done. Right.
The actress, I remember I told you about the tweet that I saw. It was just a random tweet. She was like, my scene got cut in the Justice League version. Am I in this one? I was like, yeah, you're fucking great.
It's really good.
Nailed it.
And also, like, it's super important for Cyborg because it shows he still has a soul, despite he's going to be going through a lot of stuff. Like, he's going to say to Gal Gadot, like, I don't need anyone, I never have, blah blah blah. And then he walks away and people see him and he covers up.
Yeah.
But the point is, at his core, he's still Victor Stone. He still has a heart of gold. He still wants to help people that need help. Still got the makings of a hero. Could easily turn down a dark path. He's at that place, but
he's being met at the right time by the Justice League.
Exactly.
It's really cool, and it goes a long way to humanize him, which is what you need to do when you're dealing with a robot. But at that moment, his father speaks to him
through the recorder
as a father.
Yeah, everything I've said is as a scientist, but now let me speak to you as a father. Crunch.
I don't want to hear it.
We got it. You got daddy issues.
Yeah, we got it, guys. We know.
Right.
Then we cut to Barry Allen, and he's in prison talking to his father about getting side jobs so he can fund his university degree in criminal law.
Yeah.
His father's just like, you're going to go crazy. You got like 3 jobs. What is this, number 4 now? Yeah. How do you make men's meat and stuff like that? I presume he doesn't know that he's the Flash and whatnot.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't.
Yeah. And he's like, how can you do this and whatnot? It's like, what? You need to have a life out here. And he explains to him, it's like, well, my father's in jail.
He says, why are you even interested in criminal justice? And he's like, well, my father's in jail for the murder of my mother, which he didn't commit.
Yeah.
How did I ever get...
I wonder.
Yeah. And basically the guy says, do you know what would be criminal justice to me? That my son doesn't waste his life in these dead-end jobs. You know, and he's like, you're brilliant, man. You can do anything.
Yeah.
Like, live a life. And it's very sweet.
It's a very sweet line.
It's very sweet because he understands that, like, there's no getting out of this. He's totally wrongly but been got for this thing. There's no getting out. And his son's wasting his life trying to prove that he's innocent, but it doesn't matter that he's innocent. What matters is that his son doesn't waste his life. Right.
Yeah.
It's very sweet.
But you know what's something that's really shitty as well? That father, the
guy, the actor.
What's his name? Something Allen, Henry Allen.
Yeah.
He's not the same actor's not going to be the one in the Flash. Apparently, he turned down the role. Kind of annoying.
That's frustrating. But.
Anyway, then we cut to Barry's secret hideout.
Yeah, his Barry cave.
He gets in, puts in the fuse, pulls up the switch. I don't think even with your special talents to get free electricity, it should spark that much.
Definitely should not arc like that.
Definitely not. That seems very dangerous. But then he walks in, everything turns on. Bruce Wayne's sitting in his second favorite chair.
Second favorite chair. Also, the whole thing is sealed behind him. So how did Bruce get in? This shows how cool Batman is, basically. Exactly. Or that Alfred came up behind him and locked him in.
And he's like, it could be that. So exactly. He's like, Barry Allen. What the hell was that?
No idea.
There's a noise. Anyway, he's like, Barry Allen, Bruce Wayne. It's like,
you said that like it explains why you're here.
You say that like it explains why you're here, sitting in my private area, sitting in my second favorite chair. It's like,
so like that's a quip that makes sense for Barry Allen. It's okay. We didn't need the dog grooming weird stuff.
Exactly. That's strange. But this is cool at least.
Yeah.
And he tries to essentially ask him who he is and what he does, but without directly asking.
Yeah.
So I know you're special. Just don't know what you do.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, my special skills include viola, sign language,
gorilla sign language.
Gorilla sign language, to be fair.
I think it was both. It was like sign language and gorilla sign language.
I thought it was sign language. Okay, to be fair, it's gorilla sign language, not real sign language.
Oh, okay.
But that's the way I took it. Anyway, and he goes over to his suit and he's like,
super fancy silicone stuff,
quartz fabric,
super heat resistant, blah blah blah. This is the stuff they use on the spaceship to stop it burning up during re-entry.
It's like,
I do ice skating.
Just before he says the ice, he's like, I do ice dancing. It's like, but it's what they use to put on spaceships.
Super competitive ice dancing.
Yeah. It's like, okay, what's going on?
And then he whips the Batarang.
In the most coolest way. It's just like, it's super slow motion. It looks good because there's a bit of like wind in Batman as well. And it's just like, his coat's out, fucking grey hair's going everywhere. And Barry Allen's just like,
with the lightning as well coming around him, sees it, catches it.
He's like, you're Batman.
Sick.
It's like it just turned on and it says that. So you're fast.
That seems like an oversimplification.
Just a bit right there. It's like, I'm building a team that's going to be...
Stop right there, I'm in.
You are? Yeah. I need friends. I don't get out much. Okay, we're in. All right, we'll be your friends. Don't worry about it.
And then it's like the shot is them leaving the Barry cave.
Yes.
Barry's eating a pizza, and he's kind of explaining the Speed Force, which Bruce isn't paying attention to, but you should be if you don't know the Speed Force. And he's like, I have this thing. It's not exactly super speed. I call it the Speed Force. It allows me to do this, blah, blah, blah. I use up a huge amount of energy, calories, blah, blah, blah. Like he lays out, roughly speaking, what the Speed Force is, because it is not super speed.
Yes.
The Flash is not just fast.
Very, very different, right?
Yeah.
And it helps because in the end of the movie, we get to see exactly what happens and what the Speed Force is all about.
And then they get in that sick murk.
Yeah. And
he doesn't
react to it. He should react to it.
He really should.
It's like, this is... What the...
In fairness, it is a billionaire.
It's true. And he's like, what is your superpower again?
I'm rich.
Oh, great line. Great line.
Yes. Yeah. It's
sick.
Off
right there.
Sick.
One nice little thing as well.
I'm rich.
Totally has anything to do with the movie, but one of the billboard in the background when he's going up, when the car's driving away, is the charity they've been working with to prevent suicides and stuff like that. It was really nice little thing.
Cool.
But anyway, that's something they're working with. Yeah, so
now it's the Alfred scene. So they're in the Batcave. She's about to start looking for Victor Stone.
Yeah.
She goes to make a cup of tea. I know this is supposed to be a throwaway scene, but it's so good for Alfred.
Oh, Miss Prince, let me just.
I can do it, Alfred. I'll do it myself. No, well, okay. Maybe add the water first.
Yes.
We don't want to scald the tea. Yeah. And she goes to do. Let's leave it to Mash.
Yeah, let's leave it to Mash. It's like,
okay, Alfred. I love how she can. A few things at once. One, she's like deferring to him because he's an older man, even though she is far older than he is. Yeah. But he's like aged. She doesn't really know aging, right? Or Diana Prince doesn't. And two, she can tell that although this is something she can absolutely handle and it'll be okay the way she wants it. The ritual of doing this is very important to him.
Yeah.
And it's important to him that he makes it and he's used to doing it and he's not, and so she like just defers to him, despite the fact that she's literally an Amazonian princess, the daughter of Zeus.
She's probably made a few cup of teas in her life.
Right. But I just love that she sees it as like this funny little quirk.
Yeah.
And doesn't see it as like annoying, which of course, because it's written.
Exactly.
But still, like I just love that she defers
That's
to him.
That's how you think it would be.
It's just cute.
And then they show off the gauntlets. The gauntlets
what are you working on there?
Batman wears and whatnot. It's like, oh, we found this, and we used this or this weapon that we found in the Superman ship and whatnot.
Maybe you should stand to that.
Just go over to
I do like
that.
that. He's showing concern for her. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, I know you're super and everything, and this might not hurt you, but
he doesn't want to shoot a lady.
Exactly. So they'd be ungentlemanly.
Of course,
can't do that. Heavens no. And he shoots the gauntlets, and the gauntlets capture the energy and then dissipate it and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's like, oh great, it dissipates the energy. And
it works.
And it gives a little bit of story to that right there.
Yeah, and she says, he says, it was Master Bruce's idea, or Master Wayne's idea, to gauntlet the capture and dissipates energy. He goes, wonder how he got that idea. I know, it's very interesting. Maybe you should work on a lasso, but in black.
In black, of course.
Yes.
Because that's what they do, right? Everything's in black.
And then she goes to like the bat computer, types in Victor Stone, a bunch of different names come up, and then she gets instantly hacked.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you noticed, Alfred made the tea again in the background.
Did he?
There's one little scene where he's pouring it. He made the tea again from scratch to bring it over to us. He was not okay with her making the tea.
I'm going to go back and rewatch that whole scene.
This is totally wrong. I can't sit down as an Englishman. I can't do it.
Hold on. I'm Googling this.
Did Alfred make the tea again? That was good. But yeah, she types that in, instantly gets hacked, and on the screen it's like locations on where to meet this person who's like, Miss Prince, do you have a date? And that's where she's going to go in the very next scene. What's he looking at?
I'm trying to. Can you see it?
I can see it.
Oh my god! This
it's an advert for Godzilla versus King Kong.
Come on, man! It's Godzilla all day long. Come on.
Come on. You know.
On my days, it's an unskippable 30-second ad.
That's unfortunate.
What happens next? Okay, I'm looking for in the background of this thing. I want to see. I hope you guys can see.
Is this going to be the? Oh no, this isn't going to be the one, bro. This is going to be the Justice League version.
Oh yeah, it's from 2018. So this is how Victor gets made. But maybe he'll. Yeah. Oh, he kind of.
He brings T over, but that he makes it again himself in that.
Oh,
it doesn't show it in this.
Damn it.
Yeah, that's what happens, and you can go and have a look at it.
I'm gonna have to.
It's so funny.
I'm gonna have to. So the next scene is, what is the next scene? Diana, search cyborg. He's told to meet here.
Yeah, and they go to meet each other.
They go and meet each other, right?
She gets out of the car. She walks along. All the lights start going out.
It's sick.
And then a mini jet lands on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Nobody comes to their windows to say, what the hell was that? All our power's gone out, and also there's a mini jet that just landed. Yeah, no. The people don't do that. That's not realistic.
Right.
Put that way. And I'm just like, if you wanted to be inconspicuous, you'd land around the corner, walk round.
How much time did she get off from work?
That's a good point, actually. Yeah.
Right.
So, guys, you guys got the
Bruce
archaeology
Wayne
for today?
makes sense.
No
Barry Allen, although he's holding 3 jobs, but they're all dead ends, so we can get rid of them. Okay, fine.
Exactly.
But Diana,
she got a cover to maintain.
Right.
Anyway, she's taking that time. They have a little discussion.
Yeah.
And it is a fairly good heart to heart.
It is. You can tell that he's close to not going down the right path if he's not like saved.
He's on the edge.
I don't need anyone. I never have. I'll do it all on my own. She goes, the world needs you. Fuck the world.
It's a cover, really. It's like,
it's his anger.
Exactly. I don't need anyone. I don't want to be around anyone. That's what that means. And
I don't want people to see me.
Exactly, because the people won't accept me for what I am right now. He sees himself as a monster.
It's one of the things where, because of the extraordinary nature of the group, he's actually not that strange.
Yeah.
Superman's literally an alien, and she's 5,000 years old.
Yeah.
He's actually the least, and Bruce Wayne is a billionaire that dresses like a bat.
Aquaman's a guy who talks to fish.
He's literally the least strange looking guy there.
Yeah.
So it's cool because no one bats an eyelid.
Not
even Alfred. I was like, oh, hey.
Exactly.
But also, he's too polite to
ever say. It's not gentlemanly, as we say.
Right. But Vic goes home and buries the box.
Yeah, she says one little thing that I feel like is quite nice. She breaks down that she's like, I'm still working on me trying to get back into the world after she lost someone.
I lost someone I loved, yeah.
And that's the only thing that gets through to him. Like, one point, he just sort of like, his eyes go like, he's thinking for a second, and he can't handle the situation. He just jets out of there.
Yeah.
And
because she also refers to everything that he now can do as gifts.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like that
because it's see it that way.
Yeah, exactly, because it's a burden to him.
Not yet, at least.
Right.
Ooh.
Exactly.
And as you said, he goes to bury the box that he has. He was carrying it with him.
Very poetically, though, he buries it in his own grave.
Exactly.
Which is cool.
Very
I do
nice,
like that.
Yeah. Yeah, he buries it, and then we head over to Star Labs, and apparently the other character, which
who's definitely not the Martian Manhunter,
definitely not the Martian Manhunter for sure. He goes, we've discovered some new things on the Superman ship metal that we found here. When we bombard it with X-rays, look what happens.
Yeah, the electron laser they've mentioned every single time we're in this room.
Exactly.
They superheat the metal, but it doesn't melt or anything.
Yeah.
And it's like 3 million degrees Kelvin or something ridiculous.
It's like 3.5 million Kelvin. Right. And what? It's the hottest thing on Earth.
You're looking at the hottest thing on Earth.
The same thing I said to my ex-girlfriend.
I actually quite like that.
I was like, oh boy, self-deprecation.
I quite like that, and I also like that Silas just doesn't give him any attention anymore. They've been working together for 2 years. He's heard all these stupid dad jokes. Like he's like, yes, thank you.
Yes, we get it. She's a bitch. We get it.
Right, we get it. Then what happens next?
GCPD.
Silas gets kidnapped. Isn't it here? They go superheating the Kryptonian ship, and then Silas is kidnapped. That's what I have here. Is that he comes home and is kidnapped, and then we're at Atlantis, right?
It might be that. Oh no, wait, sorry, He goes home and he sees the home's been trashed and whatnot.
Well, he sees the crushed thing on the desk, and then he goes to the cupboard where they keep the mother box.
Yeah, where you keep your alien technology.
The DC Infinity Stone.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you keep it?
And all the boxes have been moved out, and it's gone.
Yeah.
And he sighs.
Vic does.
And then he gets kidnapped by a parademon.
Exactly, parademon right there. Then we cut to GCPD. Commissioner Gordon, here's your messages. Huge stack of fucking papers like that.
Yep.
GCPD, as usual, overrun with fucking lunatics in there, stuff like that. And he's talking to another one of the officers there. And stuff like that. People have been coming in, they've been doing this, there've been loads of reports and loads of like weird
flying
sightings, monsters, and possibly related. This sketch, it's like, it kind of looks like, I know what it looks like.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think? He was in Gotham for 20 years.
He fights criminals for 20 years and he goes and kidnaps 8 randos.
This is the thing.
He hops the city, goes into Central. Is it Central Metropolis? Either one, whichever one it is, kidnaps 8 guys. that fits the MO, right?
That's right. That's completely consistent.
Also, I love
there.
how he dumps all the messages like,
Yep, straight away. Doesn't even care about them. Anyway, he goes, I'll talk to him. He's like, how are you going to talk to him? How do you think?
Yeah, the
bat signal we've had on our roof for 25 years.
Star Labs thinks it's hot shit with this electron laser. We've been using one for 20 years.
Bruh, fam. Anyway, Barry then goes to meet Diana for the first time. They come off of that plane with the car going down the scissor lift and whatnot.
I thought we were Atlantis first. Yeah. So I think we're at Atlantis first because
this scene's not really. It doesn't matter where it goes actually, because all it is just he's the signal.
Okay.
Barry then meets him. He's like, "Hi Barry, I'm Diana. Hi Barry, I'm Diana." Oh wait, that's not right. That's not wrong there. Like, well, she's a really hot chick.
I feel like she's used to people having that reaction to her because she looks that way and has done for 5,000 years.
Exactly.
Even I bet most of the Amazonians.
What regime have you got? It's just great.
I bet most of the Amazons, most of the Themyscirans have that same reaction because goddamn, my god,
they see Dan that.
Right, 5,000 years, come on.
And then he goes, "Oh, awesome! That's your bat signal. That means you need to."
That's a signal.
Yeah. So I was like, yes.
Yeah, thanks, Barry. That is what that means.
Right, thank you very much.
Cut to underwater.
Underwater. That's right.
Everybody speaks in whale song. At least it's not terrible British accents.
At least it's not that.
But we're not safe for long because she makes an air bubble and then does speak to a guy in her horrendous British accent.
So I spoke to the king and he will not send reinforcements. It's like, he's as stupid as he is. Something.
Yeah. What is this? Princess Leia speaking to Grand Moff Tarkin?
Yeah.
Is it Tarkin?
Tarkin, yeah, definitely Tarkin. Like, it's so dumb, and I try to ignore as much as possible in this thing. Anyway, then they hear
a noise,
They go inside. Again, they can't speak. And they see the giant portal thing appear and then disappear. And they're like, what the fuck is it? It's like, tells the guy to go and have a look down the hole right there. The guy just peeps his head over. Giant axe in his face. Boom, boom, boom. All hell starts to break loose and they start to fight.
Now, in my notes...
Yes.
Oh, no. It is right. Yes. So Steppenwolf attacks and is beefing them all out.
Yeah.
He just immediately annihilates most of the Atlanteans.
Yes.
Mira does pretty good.
Yes.
And she has this one thing where like she makes an air gap.
Yeah.
And they're speaking and he's like, you can't win. And she's like, I'm not trying to win. Or she's like, something like that, and then does this badass thing where trying to control just like suck the blood out of his face.
Yeah, like suck his face
out. It's
out.
pretty sick, and it's actually the closest anyone comes to beating this guy until Superman arrives.
He has to throw her away just to get her off of her.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna work.
Yeah, and she's almost like knocked out cold. She's like, fuck, my back, I just twinged it. Give me a second.
Like, I also like that the axe reacts different. They can't do lightning, so it like kind of bubbly arcs.
Yeah,
under here, like superheats.
It's like it's hot, isn't it?
Yeah,
like that.
And he comes down to like take her out, and then boom,
Arthur.
And that's how they meet. Exactly. Which makes sense that she's coming to warn him because one, she now at the end of this will know who he is, but two, she owes him her freaking life.
Yes.
And he's cashing it in with dropping that freaking accent.
Yeah.
You know, totally worth it.
It's like, I will forgive everything if you just drop the freaking accent. You're not British, all right?
My days.
Jesus Christ. Anyway,
they beef.
He does get knocked around a few times, and unfortunately, they bang into the central column. The mother box drops down into his hands, which he takes and then just dusts out of there. Now, and that's the end of that.
In fairness,
yes,
because this is not. Arthur Curry has not gone through the events of Aquaman, right? Yes. So he hasn't learned and mastered all of his abilities and spent time underwater and learned to fight underwater and mastered the Karathan and all that shit. He doesn't have the trident. He isn't at full power.
Yep.
And he's also very inexperienced fighting underwater. If this were the end of Aquaman, I think the movie stops here.
I was going to say, he's inexperienced here, and that's the only reason why he gets thrown around and beaten. Otherwise...
The movie probably ends here.
When you have when you have King Atlan's trident,
and you're an experienced Aquaman, you're underwater, you're experienced fighting underwater.
All he needs is that one move where he spins it.
Right, exactly. Like that, he can use that instead of the laser eyes, and we're basically
done.
Because also, I feel like Atlan's trident is gonna just completely negate that axe.
Yeah.
The axe is made out to look like Excalibur kind of deal, right? But that
Against
is Poseidon's trident, right?
Not going to work. Not going to
exactly. So that is important to note because this is before that. He's not really Aquaman, like the protector of the oceans, wherever it is.
Yeah.
he's Arthur Curry.
Exactly.
You know?
Now they do have Mira and Arthur do have a little conversation, and it basically gets Arthur to like get his arse in gear and to be like the protector and pursue Steppenwolf, go to the surface and take care of it because it would have been your mother's duty.
Right.
Anyway, cut to
Gotham on the roof.
Just before that, Steppenwolf does it updates Desaad on what's going on, saying that he's got 2 of the mother boxes. It's a very short scene. It's not a big thing.
Yeah.
Just updates him. It's like, I've got 2 of the boxes. The 3rd one will be in my hands pretty soon. These Earthlings will be completely destroyed. Cool, no problem. Part 4, Change Machine. Last part we're going to be talking about. Commissioner Gordon, as you said, on the roof, and Batman makes his epic entrance.
It's sick.
Probably one of the best Batman shots I've seen.
I will go as far as say it's the best Batman entrance. Anyway, it just is.
Bit of lightning in the background.
It's straight out of that old cartoon. Do you remember the cartoon on TV?
Yeah. Yes.
It's that, but in real life.
Exactly.
With like the fluttering, like it might be laundry, it might be bits of plastic because it's Gotham.
Exactly.
You don't know.
It's so good.
It's so good, and he looks so good. It's the bat. It's the Gotham bat.
Exactly. And he jumps down, and there's Wonder Woman's there, the Flash is there, Aquaman's there, and he's like, Aquaman isn't there yet. No,
Cyborg arrives
later.
Yeah.
He does. Yeah. He goes like, "How many of you are there?" Not enough. So okay. And he goes, "Well, some scientists have been stolen. 8 scientists have been stolen, kidnapped, not stolen.
Yeah,
property kidnapped." And he goes, say they
Cyborg arrives right around here.
It says like 9. He says, another was him.
Yeah.
So 9 scientists.
Also, no one like bats an eyelid. He's with us.
Exactly.
Done. He's with us.
Commissioner Gordon's just like, okay, that's just another one then.
Let's be honest, he's been working with a human bat for 20 years. This is not that weird. He's had to deal with the Joker. He's had to deal with all this stuff, like
at that
the
moment,
Suicide Squad.
Yep, okay, that's that. All right.
That is not the weirdest thing I've seen even today, you know?
And he shows the sketch of Batman.
Yeah.
And it's like, and immediately Dan is like, parademons.
Parademons.
These are the parademons.
I think she recognized the eyes because the eyes are really big.
Perhaps. And maybe he didn't assume that it was Batman. What have you been?
What the frick have you been doing, Bruce?
What have you been doing, Bruce? Whoa, oh damn! I think that was.
It's a bruise. Bruise on the arm that I've got. And she goes, okay, it's a parademon. And he goes, look, this is all the sightings. I've tried to track them, but there's no pattern. And Vic looks at it for like all of a second, goes, yep, not sewers.
It's like underneath the thing, there's some air vents and whatnot.
Air vents under the city.
It leads all to Strikers Island. It's like, nailed it. There you go. Got it right there.
Batman,
we got it right, guys.
Knowing everything about Gotham and all that, instantly is like, oh yeah, it's a project from 1929.
Yeah, 1929 was abandoned back then. I'm sorry, I know everything.
Okay, Bruce.
I was like, you're meant to be like stealthy and ninja in the night.
Yeah, I get that you're super smart, but maybe you would need a Google for that.
You need a bit of Googling for that.
He's got a Google Glass that works. That's what it is.
Exactly. That's it. That's the one right there. Anyway, they go down into the sewers, riding some sort of machine. We can't see what it is yet, but they come out with their badass entrance one by one, and they start going up. And
I love how they're just walking up some stairs.
Yeah, just walking upstairs casually.
Also, Alfred tells them where to go. He tells them that there's heat scans that shows it's in the machine room. Just go upstairs. It's there, right?
Exactly.
They go there. There's a little barrier to establish their different styles of doing things, which is really good. They have a small discussion. I forget about what.
Yeah, they try to a plan of attack, and it's like no one attack by themselves. Everyone like we do this as a team. No one attack by themselves, which they immediately go against.
Exactly. But this is important, right?
6 seconds later,
this is important. Although they're together, although they're there at the same time, they're not together. They're not attacking together.
It's true
because they've never fought together. Maybe Bruce and Diana are okay.
Yeah.
No one else knows each other.
Exactly.
By the time we get to the end, they do much better because not only are they a little bit more experienced with each other's quirks and how they fight, but they care about making sure everybody else is also okay. So they fight together about each other later on.
Yeah.
They're also all committed at equal amounts. Right here, like Barry's just tagging along because it's cool. Do you know what I mean?
So what's the plan? I don't know what's
Cyborg's here because some incredibly gorgeous woman said she needed his help.
I would follow.
Right.
Yeah.
So no one's really sure why they're here.
Exactly.
They cross the barrier. Barry just goes,
blinks across over there. Batman with his grapple gun. Cyborg flies over there.
Diana jumps after. Yeah, like
jumps.
It's pretty good.
It's quite cool. They all got their own style. Anyway, they see the parademons and Steppenwolf interrogating all of the scientists. Yeah. The first one, what do you know? What I was like, he doesn't know anything.
There was actually one thing I wanted to say.
Go on.
Just before Bruce and Cyborg cross, because they're the last two, Cyborg turns to him and said, "I didn't think you were real."
Yes.
Now, Why do I think that's important? Cyborg has access to all of the records.
Yeah.
All of the CCTV. All of it.
It just shows how good of keeping track of clearing up his tracks he is. That even in cyberspace, even to a supercomputer, even to the biggest AI in the world, combined with the human intelligence, he still is a ghost. He still is nothing.
He's the ultimate stealth, and I really think it's important to note that.
It is good.
And then he says something also quite good. It's like, I didn't think you were real. I'm real when it's convenient, or something like that. Which is to say, I will use the means at my disposal to get what needs to be done. Exactly. If Batman needs to be real, he's real. If Batman needs to be a ghost, he's a ghost.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's really big. It's why I love this movie, because Batman gets to be Batman in it.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I know it's tiny.
No, I love that. That's the little things that make it cool. I like that a lot. That's perfect. And you're such a big Batman fan. I love hearing how great you are, like how I feel about it. So they all get up there. They're like, okay, we're going to go around the side. All right, no one attacked by themselves. Everyone do this together. But then Steppenwolf picks up Cyborg's father. Yeah. It's like, oh, shit. And he's like, I'll die before I tell you. It's like, you'll die if you don't tell me. And the Spider-Bot gets on on his face. And I mean, you'd assume that the Spider-Bot's just going to rip his face off at that point.
Yeah, it could do like the Starship Troopers thing. You don't know.
Exactly. And he just rips open the railing that's in front of him. No! Dives right in, gives a few shots to Steppenwolf, grabs his father, extra arm pops out, grabs the Spider-Bot, crushes it in his hand. And it's like, oh, you came. And it's like, yeah, of course.
You're my dad.
Exactly, right. And then Steppenwolf gives the order to kill them both. But then Diana just comes in, smacks one of the parademons,
just annihilates it.
Swatting a fly, just gone.
There is one thing which I don't think Steppenwolf would talk about her other blood as like the old gods.
Yeah.
Like if he was here, it was thousands of years ago. And this is just one of a million planets. Like, I don't think he would care that much. But he does note that Amazonian, but not like your sisters.
Yeah, he's like, Amazonian, not by your sisters. Stronger. And then later on, he actually says, like, you got the blood of the old gods in you, he says, and whatnot. Anyway, they start to battle out really quite nicely. It's an epic battle. However, it starts off with one terrible line.
Right, so they beef a bit and then end up on that same bridge.
Yes, they do.
And she's being surrounded by the parademons and shooting him, and he says, stop, she'll be mine.
This one's mine.
This one's mine. And she says,
I belong to no one. And I was like, he didn't mean it as in like he owns you.
This is not possessive. This is I want to 1v1 this person. It's actually,
I'm going to take you on myself because I believe I'm a badass.
It's actually quite a sign of respect.
Yes.
And this isn't a beef against Gal Gadot or the Diana that she plays. This is a beef against the writing.
That line was bad.
It doesn't fit. It's very much like the "Can I be like you? You can be anything you want, sweetie" kind of thing. Like,
I don't get it.
Like,
I don't get it.
Especially because the rest of the Amazons and Themyscira has done so well in this.
Yeah.
They're such badasses. You have to take them seriously. You know that these are not just gorgeous women. They're not just there because they're pretty. And also it makes sense that they're all gorgeous because they're literally crafted by the gods. Who are all gorgeous.
Exactly.
Right? They're crafted in their image. And then you have this weird line, and it's like, Diana, you should have been like, that's a mistake, or damn boy, you fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, shit talk the guy.
Or just like, hi, okay then, or something like that. It would have been fine. But anyway, that line happens. And
it's really rough.
But it does proceed to go into a very nice fight.
It's a good fight.
It's very, very cool. They're chucking each other about. They're giving each other some good hits. Batman takes on some of the parademons downstairs.
With his epic grapple gun, which gets kicked away. We get to see the awesome like mahogany handles or whatever. It's probably something fancy like mahogany.
Exactly.
Or like, I don't know, what's another fancy? Ebony or something.
Some aged wood.
Whatever it is, it's awesome.
It's great. I do like one bit as well. Flash is he's out of his element right here. And one of the parademons start to shoot at him. And the way he dodges is like,
hides up against the side of the thing.
And it just pushes him like really fast. It flies through a door. It's like, did I do good?
I'm going to say, so he helps Vic get all of the hostages out.
Yes.
And they get out.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember why, but there's an explosion.
I think it's the fight that Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman and Steppenwolf are doing upstairs, and it knocks one of the walls and whatnot. But that's
cool.
Why,
I'm going to say this scene is the best scene.
Yes.
For Flash. Where...
this was the best scene for Flash, actually. I do like the last one, but...
I know, like,
it's more like the epic scene of the movie.
there's a lot of good stuff, like, you know, when the mother box comes down and it starts reversing time and stuff. That's cool, but it doesn't help us for Flash. It's just something that he can do, if that makes sense.
I get you.
And this, where like all the rubble's coming, he goes no, and then right, and you see like the what would you call that?
It's like flashes in different poses as he's going
as he's
by.
moving all the stuff. I love that, man. I thought it was such a good scene, and it's so perfect because it shows, one, how fast he's moving, because you see all these impressions, and two, like, look at the lengths he's going to save these random people. So he's doing the hero thing. It's the save the cat moment, even after the creepy thing with Iris West, where he's literally surrounded by cats and dogs. I really like that scene for Flash. I think it's a great visual as well, because he's moving so fast that all you can see are impressions of him in the light, not him, you know? So like, because it's just shadow, you don't even see the color. It's shadow
like
on
a
white
frame as well.
I really like it. I think it's his best visual.
But he does miss one big boulder.
He does,
and then luckily Cyborg is like vaporizes
proper
it.
Western, shoots from the hip.
Pull that back in. That's all right there. But then Batman joins the fight between Steppenwolf and the other parademons, calls up the Nightcrawler, jumps into it, and starts unleashing hell. Like proper machine gun, 50 cal fire on all these people.
I feel like there's one thing before, I feel like just before this, Barry and Cyborg re-enter the fight, because Diana has to leap for her sword because she has no help.
I think it happens because he shoot.
Either way, like, Batman in the Nightcrawler starts beefing out. Thing. Diana loses her sword, goes for it. Flash re-enters the fight. He's like running around the stuff and dinks the sword back into her hand. Also, again, she catches the sword even at that speed. She isn't Superman, but she is super freaking strong. She is super freaking, like, she can catch bullets.
Exactly.
You know, like, she is very, very fast.
Exactly. So she would probably, it stands to reason that she can see and think in that sort of speed and whatnot.
Not close enough to Superman. But or Barry, but like very much where she's going for a thing and suddenly it's there. Well, okay, that's the thing I need.
Exactly.
You know.
Batman joins. They beef. He gets in that. There is the Nightcrawler.
Barry trips or takes a wound to his leg because he's looking at Diana. Which, in fairness, it is Diana's face.
Who wouldn't?
Like, if you didn't want it to be looked at, you shouldn't have had it.
Exactly.
You know.
They all knock to the ground. So even Steppenwolf is on the ground. And Wonder Woman.
She does the thing and
knocks him on
annihilates
his
him. It's sick.
He does not respect Diana at this point.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna murk you. It's just a matter of time.
I think this is where he says, "You've got the blood of the old gods in you," and then she just goes boom like that, flies across the tunnel.
Also, it does sound like a gong, and it's like the dong, and he gets caned, and suddenly he's like,
this might be a bit harder than I thought.
Yeah, and I respect this scene. Also, I don't know. It's just he's in the original heavy air quotes, none of them get any respect, and they don't deserve it. They don't do anything to deserve it.
They don't do anything. They're just not made to look important at all.
In this, it looks like they're gonna fuck him up.
They give him
close.
some real hits on him.
Is it Bruce? No, Cyborg comes down because the Nightcrawler got murked,
got fricked up. Cyborg comes and jumps in and is like, "I'll take it from here, Alfred."
He proper tentacle hentais the Nightcrawler here.
I'm sorry, do I know you?
I freaking love Alfred. Everything. Like, that's such good comedic timing as well, right? Because the delivery isn't like the silly Barry Allen in the thing. Oh, the bus didn't come, but it did come. It's like, Alfred, you're like, I'm sorry, do I know you?
Do I know you?
It's so good. It's so good. I love every scene we get with Alfred is a treat.
Just beautiful.
In my opinion.
He fires
also
off
Jeremy Irons, like, come on, so good.
I liked him from Die Hard with a Vengeance.
He's so good in everything. But he's also, I wouldn't have picked him for Alfred. He's Jeremy Irons. He's a leading man. But he's so good as Alfred. He's so good. No one else could tell Diana how to make tea.
No one.
Like, I even feel like Michael Caine would have struggled.
No, it wouldn't. It
just wouldn't have
fit.
It wouldn't have fit properly. It would have felt weird, but so good.
So after Cyborg gets in, he lights off a few rounds. He lights off a few missiles. One of them Steppenwolf catches and like really sort of struggling to hold, but then he shoots it to the side. And it's the side of the tunnel that's underneath Gotham Harbor.
Right. He gets
teleported out away, there and whatnot. And then Barry's like, "What are we under? Gotham Harbor."
Yeah.
Like, shit, let's get the frick out of here.
Oh,
And
Barry, by the way, took her around to the leg.
he did, yeah.
So
he
he's
did
limping.
He's like limping away. They managed to start walking out. As the water comes in, you see like a figure in the water.
Yes.
And
also important because he is following. He doesn't just arrive like he did in the other one.
Yeah.
He's specifically following Steppenwolf.
Exactly.
Who he's tracked here, presumably because one of the fish outside saw him.
It's like, I think I hear you looking for Steppenwolf? Yeah, I heard him.
There's like 10 guys in here yelling about Steppenwolf, bro.
Yeah, they were like, Steppenwolf this, Steppenwolf that. You want to come down here, mate?
Right. Cheers, little goldfish.
Thank you.
Unnamed goldfish too. Right. So that's why he's here.
Exactly.
Right.
He jumps in the water, and the water starts to really come in now, and he dives out of the water and with his trident smacks it to the ground to hold the water back as much as he can while the rest of them get out.
Right.
They take a stupid amount of time to get into the Nightcrawler.
I feel like you dump the Nightcrawler and just use that hook.
Right.
Diana can literally fly.
Exactly.
So can Cyborg. Who, by the way, Cyborg
But
just
they-
kicks. Cyborg just goes.
That's the point. So they get in the Nightcrawler after 10 years, and after the water starts to come to them, they start climbing up the side, and halfway up he just goes, "See you later, guys." And I'm like, even if the water isn't going to go any higher, because we don't really know, because it's still going up,
bruh?
you just left us in the middle of this,
We literally saved your dad's life
fam.
5 minutes ago. Give us a hand. Like either one, like Bruce, Barry, either one of these.
Jesus Christ. Anyway,
It does end up making sense,
Yeah.
though, which I do appreciate coming up. So
it's like he saves their life and then goes to protect something.
yes.
And Steppenwolf is called away by the mother boxes. That's the next scene. He's back at his base, and he looks at the mother boxes, and he talks to them.
He
almost.
touches one, and it shows him. It shows him what's here.
Exactly.
He does that weird gorilla hand in the dirt.
That's the thing. It looks like the scene of where Darkseid lands.
Yeah.
He does the same thing with the hand in the dirt, and then he goes, "It's here." Drops his axe down, and then the lava thing happens again. That same that Darkseid did when he came. And we're like, okay,
Right.
done what this is.
We're not really sure what it means at this point.
Yes, exactly. A pattern's just there.
Yeah.
We then cut to Dr. Stone. He's outside. He's being
No. I think it's still the same scene.
Is it?
Oh, hold on a minute.
If it's calling Desard, it might happen just after that,
so
but it doesn't matter too much.
Yeah, I don't think these scenes matter too much, but I do think it happens at one go. He sees the thing, and then he walks up to the boxes and speaks to Desard, I think.
Whatever. The only thing that happens between is that the bit that I have here is that Dr. Stone says he's going to be in quarantine for possible alien microbes.
Yeah, I know. I wrote the protocols.
I wrote the fucking protocols. And then
no,
calls,
because when he does that, then everybody's talking about what do we do about the boxes, and Cyborg arrives.
That's true.
So I think it's interrupted.
I think you're right.
Yeah, so I think the way it goes is we cut to Steppenwolf. He experiences what the thing.
Yeah.
And then he calls Desard and says, "I found anti-life."
Yeah, he goes, Steppenwolf calls Desard. Steppenwolf calls Desard, and he said he found the anti-life equation.
It's here on Earth. This is the world that rebelled. Let me speak to Darkseid.
Well, he was like, tell Darkseid I found it, and he doesn't even like request it. It's almost like Darkseid sort of like looks up, almost like he's either talking to someone or he's trying to communicate with someone.
Oh, Desard, you mean? He just looks up and then steps away.
And then he steps back into it, and then that giant...
Also, I love the visual of them, like kind of the fluid thing, but it's kind of lava-y.
It's hot metal.
Yeah, it's sick.
And just as Darkseid comes out, all of the parademons in the background start kneeling.
They kneel, yeah.
And
just before as well, like they can sense that he's coming.
Yeah. And then...
By the way, he's not in the same universe, I don't think. He's a universe away.
Exactly. This is good communication.
Yeah.
And
I want to get on that plan.
And Steppenwolf, he's sort of like taken aback. So, oh my god,
his armor retracts,
and he retracts
all the way down to like his
waist
top
area.
Yeah,
and you can see his body, which is kind of like a mix of like dragon scales and rock, almost like it's really rough and stuff like that.
And he's ripped.
Exactly.
I mean, he's got muscles that you don't know exist because they're not human.
It's alien. Yeah. And he gets down on one knee, and it's like, Darkseid is like great leader. And he's like, so is it true? Have you found the anti-life equation? It's like, yes.
Yeah, I've seen it with my own eyes. The mother box. I don't think he says the mother box shows me. He said, I've seen it with my own eyes.
Yes,
and
he has.
So this is the thing, and I'm not super familiar with this, but it's called the anti-life equation. Yes. And I was thinking about this, which is, that is a very different thing to like death. People are like, oh, it's death. No, because death is the absence of life.
Yeah.
This is the opposite of life, not the absence. So I think the anti-life thing is a very...
It's where it sucks the life out of everything.
Yeah.
To consume that energy, to keep it.
And leave it as something else.
Exactly. It's like this anti-life equation takes over people's bodies and then he can suck the life out of it. Which is like fucking serious shit.
It's serious. It's not just like a mega death ray.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then after that, we have the scene outside. With
also because Darkseid says something like, if you take the world, do the unity, and then I'll come for my prize, and basically your debt's forgiven. You're back in. It's like you're gonna come to Earth. It's like I'll be there. Yeah, I'll be there. And also you can see that like he's not just. There's a lot of awe there in Steppenwolf because this Steppenwolf actually has some freaking character. Yeah. He's like, you're gonna come to Earth. I'm on Earth. Oh my days, I'm going to get to speak to you. I've been sent away to take out 50,000 worlds, and instead I get to see you soon. See you now, I just got to take one more world. Exactly. So it's pretty cool. You can see the like, almost, I don't know, like he gets to meet God. There is like these words, like they clearly reference what he's done in the past, like his wrongdoing that's caused him to be in exile and stuff like that. But he knows he can't say anything back. If he says he's back, he screws up every chance he possibly has. And he doesn't say something under his breath. He doesn't know that. He just sticks true to his plan. It's like, I know what I need to do. I'm going to do this. It's so cool. It's very good villain type thing. Well, then we're back on Stryker's Island, and the guy's telling Silas Stone, you've been exposed to alien thing. You have to be quarantined. Like, I know the protocols. I wrote them. I'm the one that like flop it out, Silas. Jesus. Who the fuck are you? Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? Jesus Christ. And they're all talking about like, what do we do? He's got the box. He'll have the third box, and then he has the second box. He came from Atlanta. Boom. He doesn't have the third box. I have it. Big dick moment. Damn, son. Damn. Exactly. It's pretty cool. And then we cut to Wayne Aviation Department, where they all just go in there. There's the big ship and whatnot. Yeah, well, I'm not sure if this is another Batcave or just a super big hangar. Because they say it looks bigger from the outside. There is a shot, and I don't know if it's here or if it's before where they show it. Right. And it's definitely it says Wayne Enterprises, Wayne Aviation Enterprises. So it's like a Wayne Industry. You wouldn't assume anything. It's just Wayne Industries. Don't fucking cares about it. Cool. And they go in there. We get that cool line about Victor comes in and he's like, she wants to fly. She wants to fly. You talk to machines? I talk to intelligence. There you go. And she's saying she wants to fly, but she can't because of a software issue. I could fix it. Yeah. I just need a few hours. Yeah. Like, it's cool because he takes these lifeless things and suddenly they're not lifeless anymore, right? They have personality and what is he says it's like her calling or something like that. Yeah, it's her calling. So she wants to fly. It's her thing. She wants to fly. She's built for it. Yeah, it's very cool. It adds a lot of like personification to inanimate objects. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then they have their mother box meeting. There is one more thing. Go on. They all walk past Alfred. Bruce introduces Alfred as the guy that runs everything. He's the guy that's in charge. Just the guy that runs everything. He's in charge of everything around here. And so like everybody, Diana, Bruce, they know him. Barry's like, hey, whatever. And Cyborg walks by in his like robot way. But then he says something so human. He's like, this place is badass, Alfred. Badass, Alfred. and it's cool because, again, it proves that Cyborg is a human surrounded by machinery, not machinery with a human attached. Exactly. Like, that's still Victor Stone. Yeah. It's very cool. It's very human. No robot will be like, that's badass. It's pretty cool. It's cool. And then they have the mother box meeting. They do. And Cyborg he tries to lay things down of like how the mother box works. Aquaman's rightfully so a little bit suspicious. Like, how can we trust you? Yeah, this thing made you. Are you working for it? How do we know? And he explains the situation of how it got to projector. Here. And again, he's in his flesh. Exactly. It's like it was founded in Nazi Germany. They held it away for 70 years until it got into the hands of my father. Oh, sorry, it doesn't say my father. Dr. Stone. Yeah. Dr. Silas Stone, who used it for this and whatnot, used it for her. And that person was my father. And that's how I became. Yeah, like and he like runs through his origin story basically. Exactly. Yeah, it's very good. It's very well cool. done. It's very well done right there. Explains everything condensed in a few minutes. Yeah, but very well explained. He also establishes he's like these are super flashes, like these are super death machines, right? And he's like, no, they're change machines. Yes, like they change things to the will of their master. Yes, and he also says things like they change, they restore, they reinstate, and they're like, what? And then I don't particularly love that every single person gets a line of this sentence. Yeah. Because it's very oof. 2 people I get, but 5 people. rough. But they basically give the example of like if a house is on fire, the house turns into smoke, right? The house particles still there, but they're just smoke now.
Yeah.
These things can reinstate, and Barry says some insane physics thing about reinstating into something forces. And he's like, yeah, basically with this machine, you can take the smoke and turn it back into a house.
Yes.
And then, and again, thank you, Barry. He's like, I know we're all thinking it. I'm not going to say it.
No.
Oh, wait. So you're right. No, you're right. You're totally right.
Yes.
You're totally right.
They determine so that...
just pause.
Exactly. They pause right there.
Martha comes to visit Lois.
Exactly. Yeah, Martha comes to visit Lois, and it's a very touching moment.
They have a very sweet daughter-mother kind of interaction.
Yeah, like, while it's not officially daughter, in everyone's hearts, in everyone's minds, this is my daughter.
The way it's presented to me is that they both lost the same amount of thing, right? Which was that although she lost a son, Lois lost like the love of her life. These losses are equal, and that's a very rare thing to get, especially in this line. That's how much she loved him, that it's equal to losing a son to Martha. That's how it feels to me. And their conversation also to the point where Martha is consoling her.
Yes.
Where she says like I'll never love anyone the way I love your son. She doesn't say, she says like the way I love your son. Like it's still going on.
It's never going to stop.
Right.
It's never going to stop.
And Martha's like, I know, but you need to come back to the land of the living. Like like they both lost the same thing, but it's hitting Lois even harder than Martha.
Like, you do one thing for me. There's one thing you can do for me. Come back to the living.
Yeah. Because she says, I went to get Clark's things from Daily Planet, and Perry told me you hadn't been in since Clark died.
Yeah.
It's
really fucking tough. Really fucking tough.
It's rough.
Then she goes, she leaves. She
leaves,
closes the door. And then all of a sudden her eyes glow red.
Very ominous.
The hell's going on? And then there's a swooping shot. Something changes, and it's just
a really long cape.
A green alien comes out of nowhere. Yeah, he's green.
Because
black suit but green face.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see the green. So yeah, it's by the way, I freaking saw, I can't remember who it was giving me shit, because in the last one I said it was black and white Martians, but it's green and white Martians.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I forgot all of my DC lore after a 4-hour movie while on camera, motherfucker.
You forgot colours. This is what happens.
Right. Anyway, so green Martian. Martian Manhunt's a green Martian, which is very cool, and we get to see him.
But we don't know his name. We don't know.
We don't know who he is.
It's just a green guy.
He's just a green guy who can change shapes.
Exactly.
Who also says, as he's changing shapes into army guy.
Yeah. But the world needs you, Lois.
Yeah, the world needs you, Lois. Because look, Superman, Aquaman, Batman, all important. But you know what's more important? A reporter.
Very important.
Super needed.
The world needs the reporter.
It's true. It's true.
And then we cut back to the Mother Box meeting.
The Justice League discusses their options.
Exactly. They've determined that the box can activate again. We can activate the box again, and it can bring back Superman.
Okay, so they start with this with like, we need until it's awake, they can't. They don't know where it is. They can only sense it. So we have to keep it moving. And Bruce is like, no, that's a strategy to lose more slowly, not to win.
That's a good line right there. That's a very good
Which
line.
is freaking brilliant. And again, it's important to why Bruce is here, because Bruce is by far the brains of this operation, right? Exactly. He is absolutely... Barry Allen is a genius. So is Cyborg.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne is on a totally different level, in a totally different... Look, would he win at chess against Cyborg? No. That's not the kind of genius that he is, although he is a genius. This guy thinks about strategy. He's playing 4D chess, you know?
And he also says as well, it's like, well, how come? It's like we can't leave it here. What if it activates and whatnot? And they mention as well that the Mother Box was activated before by Dr. Stone, by Silas Stone, and and Steppenwolf didn't come.
Yeah. So he says,
why didn't it come?
They say, how do we know Superman's the key? And he says, the Mother Box told us. What?
Exactly.
Silas Stone used this thing a year ago to make Cyborg.
Exactly.
And it didn't come.
No Steppenwolf.
Why not? Because a year ago, Superman was here.
Because they must have been afraid of him. It's like, shit, that's a good deduction, right?
Right.
And then,
and again, like we can't do nothing, because that again is to lose slowly, not win.
And then at that moment, the music rises, the camera swooping round, and like you said,
Flash says, like, I know we're all thinking it, but I'm not going to say it. I know we're thinking it, I'm not going to say it.
And then Cyborg just projects.
Oh, it's so sick. I've got chills thinking about it.
Oh, the music, the way it rises here, and then Superman's projection just in the sky.
It's so good. It's so good, but it also gives us a good reason for why they're doing it. Like, I get that he's a strong ally, right? But it's the deduction that's important. It's if we do nothing, we lose slowly.
Yes.
Because
in Justice League, the deduction was the only reason was Bruce wanted to bring him back because he felt like
he felt guilty.
Exactly. I'm like,
and now he has a way to bring him back.
You're going to possibly risk the world because you feel guilty?
And why does everyone back him on that?
Exactly.
I feel like it's very much one man's crusade. And
he just sort of says like, it's Superman. The world needs Superman.
Right.
That's the real reason, guys. Everyone on board with that? Is that good enough?
Right.
Good job.
Whereas in this, it's like, if we do nothing, we definitely lose. Or we can maybe make it slower.
Yeah.
Superman going is the point where these things wake up.
Yeah.
Therefore, it seems like Superman is something these things do not want to have to mess with, or whatever's controlling them doesn't want to have to mess with it. And these things do have the power to like reinstate whatever physics bullshit Barry said. And I love we can bring him back.
I love how Barry is like, well, let's give it a try then. What do we have to lose? And it's like, if we want to bring him back, we have to activate the mother box. And if we activate the mother box, Steppenwolf sees him and he can take it, start the unity, and then everything dies.
It's a catch-22.
It's like, so we have everything to lose. Got ya.
It isn't so it is a catch-22. If we use the box to to revive Superman,
the thing that can stop him.
Right. Steppenwolf is going to come and get the box.
And then stop us.
Right.
Like, well, that's okay. Totally.
However, we have established that not doing it, we still definitely lose. We just stretch it out a bit.
This time we have a chance to do something. But Bruce lays out some really, and it's the final line, he lays out some really, really compelling words. He's like, he is the key. He is us. It's 6, not 5.
Yeah.
There's no us without him.
Yeah. Cut.
And that's the end of chapter 4.
I will say, still one man's crusade. Like, there doesn't need to be 6. That's totally on you, Bruce.
Yeah.
He is right, but it's totally on you.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't.
You were the reason for all of this right here. If you didn't start the things in motion, it probably wouldn't have happened.
It's totally on you. Plus, like, I mean, there's an argument to be made that, like, you don't do this thing because what if it's not him that comes back?
Oh, exactly. I mean, Aquaman says it, and it's like, you're either dead or you're not. When you come back, it's not necessarily you. Anyway, that's the end of chapter 4, and that is where we're going to be ending our review part 1.
Yes.
Next week we'll be doing part 2, which will be doing part 5 into the end, and we'll be able to discuss everything, the climax of everything that's been happening.
Yes, indeed.
And
I guess we'll read comments in the next one.
Yes, we're going to read comments. So I did take some comments thinking what would happen, see if we can get some in. However, people have written an entire essay for everything.
Essays, and it's just their full review.
I was going to say, I want you guys to do your full review in the last one. I think because that's when we wrap everything up and we can talk about it. Yeah. And also it stops everybody from leaving spoilers and things like that. Sorry if you've written in already, but you can just copy and paste stuff over. It's not going to be too much. I will say there are some nice things. Adam Sunling saying this is the definitive best version of Justice League he's seen on screen so far. Acting all round is so great.
Do try and get good punctuation paragraphs in there if you could, boys.
Please do. As I said, sorry for those people that wrote in. I wanted to get those in case we had in case it felt right. It doesn't really feel right to put in comments until it's at the end. Yeah. So we're going to leave it here, and then we'll pick up your comments. If you want to add anything, you can in the next version in part 2. Yeah. And there'll be a lot more time as well at the end and whatnot.
Indeed.
Bro, thank you very much for joining me for this episode right here. We will see you guys next week.
When's this one going to go on? Because
I think it's going to go on the weekend. I think it's going to Sunday, something like that. Cool. So people can sit back, relax. You're watching it right now, kicking it back with a beer or some Kool-Aid or whatever you got in your hand.
Mountain Dew or G Fuel, whatever you
gamers after all. We do drink that. And you can enjoy this with us. Yeah. Watch Justice League again if you haven't already.
Yes.
Best thing in the world.
Try and get up to 5 like you.
Try and catch up. Epic gamer over here. You're on thinking about it. No, we've been doing a lot of recording.
Yeah.
All right, bro. I'll catch you in the next Streamcast, bro.
Yeah, man.
Catch you guys next one.
It was the pop that you just. It was okay. We kind of had an outro, and then you pop. You did that.
You're welcome.